Superbike races, Principal Insurance Superbike races on the Sunday afternoon. And we're here with Ronan Waters. Ronan, a bit of a change of machinery this year.
Oh yeah, the blade is much better. The ZX10 last year, a lot heavier bike, you know, but delighted to be here, you know.
So tell us a bit about the bike. Who raced it before you?
I bought it originally as a road bike only last year, and put all the race stuff on it myself, and done everything, trying to do as much as I can myself, you know. But no, it's a different level bike, you know what I mean.
Good lad, you're the first of the cup runners.
Yeah, happy to be here. It's such a surprise after the first weekend of Mondello, you know. So I just, again, all my sponsors, I have all the boys here and everything. I just like to say thanks to everyone, you know, to have it all here on the grid.
Well, we're delighted to see you here, and the best of luck, all right?
Yeah, well, thanks very much.
We might slip across to the outside of this row on Daniel Matheson. Daniel, you did a couple of nice wins up at Bishop's Court recently.
Yeah, we did indeed, yeah. We came in here obviously yesterday morning with a bit of a technical, so bike quit first lap of qualifying. Had to start from the back of the grid, so we managed to pull to here within that race, so hopefully from here we can get ourselves going, get a wee bit better here.
Yeah, it's not like the old days. There's quite a bit of complication in these girls.
Absolutely, no. The slightest wee thing just knocks them completely off. But like I say, everything's going smooth now, so hopefully we can get a pull up the grid here.
Well done. Great to see you here, all right. And we'll move across to a man in the middle of the second row, or third row even, Andrew Werty. Andrew, yeah. You're flying, lad.
Yeah, happy out, yeah. We just tag on to these lads in front here, hopefully.
Are you taking advice from the younger fellas?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. You have to take advice from them, so we don't learn then, do you know what I mean? Absolutely,
and what are they saying is hold her flat out?
I just keep our pins, yeah.
In fairness though, you're making great progress.
Yeah, it's getting there. Still a couple of things to air out, like, you know what I mean? But it's getting there. It feels good, like, it's strong, like, yeah.
Is the Fireblade hard to set up?
No, it's easy. It's not too bad. I don't find it too bad. Like, you know, it seems okay.
No, you have to say you've made a lot of progress with the machine.
Yeah, loads of progress with it in a short pace of time. Like, so, I'm pretty happy with that. But still more to give. Like, you know.
Well, I'm delighted to see you up here, and best of luck. All right. We'll just go across to the next rider. Here is Brian McCormick on the Roadhouse Macau machine. Having a bit of fun there, Brian.
Yeah, it's kind of like self-preservation, but have a bit of fun at the same time. We're trying to keep ourselves fit and healthy for the Northwestern TT as well, but also go for a championship. So can't be won in the first round, but we can definitely lose it. So we're going to have a bit of fun. The team work really hard. We have a few new riders on board this year, so it's a lot of work, but it's good fun.
Yeah, it's great to see you here, and we're on orders to clear the grid, so we'll hand you back to James and Andy.
So starting to hot up here for the Principal Insurance Superbike race. Second one of the afternoon. First of the afternoon. Kevin Keys on pole position. Shane Conley P2. And Alan Kenny brings up the front row in third place. Brian McCormick on row 2, fourth place, ahead of Andrew Weirty, who seems to be gelling quite well with that Honda Fireblade that he's changed to. And Emmett O'Grady on the Tag Racing Honda Fireblade also. Danny Masterson had a disaster yesterday in qualifying, but has recovered himself, and he starts in the top of row 3 in 7th place, ahead of Ronan Waters and Shawnee Smith. So 20 Superbikes lining up for this 14 lap encounter. Liam Chalk is back in row 6. Number 44 GSXR Howden. Just behind row 5, number 10 is brother James Chalk. Alongside James is number 888 Gavin Casey, who's gelled well with that GSXR 1000 after moving up from the Super Twins, where he previously had his Aprilia RS 660. Declan Madden in the middle of row 4, number 833, co-sponsor of the Junior Sport, Super Sport and Moto 1 class. Declan Madden Groundworks. So Declan, I think he's still BMW S1000RR mounted. And Sean Brawley from County Derry, he's had quite an exceptional weekend already with us. Number 99, closing out row 4. Just watch the riders grab a handful of brake, swift side to side, get the last bit of heat into those tyres. Probably not as critical this weekend as it has been in the past with the colder temperatures. I think we were looking at 24 degrees before the morning sessions began, so it's got to be up there near the 30s at the moment. So probably trying to haul these bikes up down to speed into turn 1 is probably more important to get some heat into the brakes before we get out for the 14 laps. Could be quite a pitched battle as we line up these. Probably very competitive the first 2 rows into turn 1, and if anybody makes a mistake getting away on the first row, could be in for a very tetchy and interesting turn 1. Eyes on the lights, all nicely away, didn't see any jump start, so eyes all be on the monitor, see who gets in, and it is indeed Brian McCormack on the Roadhouse Macau FHO Racing BMW 1000, who got in and out of turn 1 quickest.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that, Andy, because he certainly would have been disappointed with yesterday's performance, but right hot on his heels is Kevin Keys, looks like to me. And Alan Kennedy also there in close contention. So Kevin Keys is the thorn in McCormack's side already, and I think he's up the inside into turn 4. I think we do already have a change of leader, and this certainly is Kevin Keys on the R1 Derricor racing machine.
Yeah, carbon copy of the move Kevin made in a Supersport race on Emmett O'Grady as well, and he's just done the same on Mondello specialist Brian McCormack. So let's see if Brian has any reply for that. Of course, this is the first out lap, this will be the first flying lap. You see if Brian can get a bit of momentum going to carry him into lap 2.
Yeah, so Brian McCormack in second place, Alan Kenny third, Shane Connolly fourth, Andrew Worthy in fifth, and Ronan Waters, number 151, first of these Superbike Cup riders, running there in sixth position on the road. Then Emmett O'Grady on the Tag Racing Honda. 8th place Daniel Matheson, 9th Superbike Cup rider Shawnee Smith, and 10th is Sean Brawley, number 99.
Kevin Keys has already set out a commanding lead in this second lap only as he exits the S's. We'll watch how he gets on the brakes for the first time flying into Southside Manufacturers. I think he's going to have a second of a gap already as he pings the tower for the first flying lap of this 14 lap Principal Insurance Superbike race. So there he goes. There we have Ronan Waters, who's just ran wide. I think that's out in turn 3. But Ryder okay, he's just run into the gravel. I think he's fine. Again, let's take a look at the gap from Kevin Keys to Brian McCormack. It is 1.2 seconds. And Brian Cormack then has a gap of half a second to Alan Kenny, who's behind him. Shane Connolly is in 4th place ahead of Andrew Weirty, and Emmett O'Grady is up 1 position to 6th running on the road. So watching him come out of turn 4, it is still Kevin Keys, and he's built up a fine gap. Again, this is going to be bigger than 1.2 seconds, and he'll probably get a pit board to say that he's
yeah, well, last lap tells its own story there, Andy. Kevin Keys a full 7/10 quicker than Brian McCormack, and he's eking it out now. Increases his lead again to 2.049 seconds. So 2 seconds the gap now, and Alan Kenny putting pressure on Brian McCormack there in second place, and also Shane Connolly in third, looking for a piece of the action as well. So yeah, interesting. Shane Connolly there in 4th, Andrew Worthy 5th, Emmett O'Grady 6th, and Daniel Matheson in 7th place. First Superbike Cup rider back in 8th place, that's Shawnee Smith. But the leader's back down with us, and I can see Kevin
the top
Keys.
4 guys are running in 54s. Everyone else is doing a 56 and bigger. So we're just going to see a four-way battle at the front. But to be fair, it's just going to be a battle for who's going to pick up 2nd and 3rd, because Kevin Keys is in a league of his own at the moment with the fastest lap of the 54.
And Brian McCormick got pushed out wide there at Southside Motor Factors and finds himself back in 4th place now. Alan Kenny and Shane Connolly taking advantage of that. So McCormick has been pushed back to 4th in one corner. So, and he seems to be losing ground as well. Not sure what's going on there, but maybe an issue with McCormick and the BMW.
Yeah, definitely lost a lot of time on that last lap, and he's been relegated to 4th, which Shane Connolly and Alan Kenny have benefited enormously from. So I would be surprised if we've seen some hot laps coming in from Alan Kenny and Shane Connolly. They've got clear track in front of them, but 3 seconds is quite a margin to be even looking at, even with 10 laps to go. So Kevin's going to get a pit board here indicating on that. So he's not going to lift, but he doesn't need to push on and take any risks or do anything unnecessary. So let's keep an eye on Alan Kenny and Shane Connolly as they ping the tower there to see what their times are going to be like. And they just go past Kevin Keys. His last lap was a 54.2, and the last lap for Alan Kenny and Shane Connolly were both mid 54s, so that they're not even keeping up with Kevin. They're not eating into that margin. Brian McCormick's mid 55s as well, so you could practically write off his chances of a podium already, even with 9 laps to go.
Yeah, so 6 of 14 laps completed as we're concentrating now on this 2nd place battle between Alan Kenny and Shane Connolly. There is our race leader, Kevin Keys, already safely through Southside Motor Factors as Alan Kenny and Shane Connolly peel in. Brian McCormick finding himself languishing there in 4th position. Unfortunately for him, the Rolos Macau BMW not performing the way Brian would have wished for this weekend. Not sure what's going on there, but Kevin Keys, 54.121 seconds, fastest lap of the race for him on lap 3. That was earlier on. Already onto lap 7, and this time around they'll have completed half race distance in this, the opening Principal Insurance Superbike race of the day. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 2nd Superbike event coming up later on this evening. That will be the last race of the evening, the finishing up race of the Superbikes, the Principal Insurance Superbike race. That will be coming up hopefully around 4:30 if everything goes to plan.
Yeah, it's going to plan certainly at the minute anyway. Definitely for Eden Derry's Kevin Keys, who's obviously he's got the fastest lap. He's the fastest in Sector 1. Interesting statistic is the fastest bike in a straight line at the minute is Emmett O'Grady, who's he's about 10 kilometres faster in a straight line than everyone else. We can see him passing the tower at 213 kilometres an hour. It's good information to get from Paul Grogan's timing.ie system. But the only time that matters at the minute is Kevin Keys on the 4-second gap that he has ahead of the chasing pack, which is still Alan Kenny and Shane Connolly. Brian McCormick again circulating in the 55s. He's another 2-3 seconds back from Shane Connolly and Alan Kenny in 2nd. Emmett O'Grady not in a position to trouble Brian McCormick at the moment either. And Daniel Matheson is still sitting in 6th position on that BMW S1000RR.
So Alan Kenny there in 2nd place, and under the watchful eye of Shane Connolly, and behind him in 3rd. And Kevin Keys has that 3.7 second gap at the moment as our 2nd and 3rd place man get around turn 2 and up the fast approach into the double apex. Turn 3 comes Alan Kenny and stretches his little advantage ever so slightly. Shane Connolly looks as that, and there's that stricken rider from the earlier incident on lap 2. Well, thankfully rider is up and okay and looking and watching the action from the sidelines. That's not where he wants to be, but that's where he is as Alan Kenny gets through into turn 5. And there's our race leader Kevin Keys, with that comfortable 3.7 seconds lead on the last lap. Alan Kenny into Southside Motor Factors turn 6. There's Brian McCormick, who's it looks like he's just given up all hope of a podium here. He's just, as I say, languishing back there in 4th place on the Rodos Macau BMW. Number 13 through there, that's Shawnee Smith, the leading Superbike Cup rider through your screen there into Southside Motor Factors turn 6. Kevin Keys gets a little airborne on the approach to turn 3, between turn 2 and turn 3, as he now has a 3.9 second lead over nearest rival Alan Kenny. And Shane Connolly not giving up on this one either, Andy.
No, I have to say it's really quality footage. It's really great to see these scenes. Not a lot of people can get out the back to the spectator viewing areas of turn 3, so it's great to see the technical part of that. It's a really difficult corner with the double apex and slightly positive camber, but that brow on the exit of turn 3 can catch an awful lot of people out as they come out of there and get the gas on. You can spit you off, so it's good that people can see these extra corners that are not normally visible to spectators, who are probably only treated to the Southside Motor Factors corner and the straight that connects them to turn 1. So really enjoying this footage from See It Live.
Yeah, Shane Connolly, and it looks like, you know, you can see Alan Kenny stretch his lead a little between turn 2 and turn 3, but Shane Connolly closes it right back up on the approach to the apex of turn 3, and ahead of them it looks like there may be some
yeah, I think it's the different lines that turn 3 can let people. It is a very wide part of the track, so you can afford yourself a different line if you're leading and if you're chasing. So maybe if Shane is looking at Alan, he can come in maybe wider and take a sweeping effort, and that will decrease the gap to Alan Kenny. It's a bit like what we were looking at with Andrew Murphy and Stephen Tobin in the Moto 400 race. I think we're seeing different people's styles and lines into it. Speaking of, that looks like a manoeuvre there for back marker, is it? Are they going to start coming into play?
Yeah, lots of traffic ahead here, Andy. Certainly. So the gap between first and second down to 3.6, but I don't think that's anything to worry about for Kevin Keys. He certainly won't be worried. He's got some traffic to negotiate here in front of him. Oh, and there's a bit of a move on here. Oh, Shane Connolly has a look up the inside of Alan Kenny.
That's back marker, I think.
In fact, it was a back marker. It was. So Shane Connolly's the loser on that one.
Yeah, that's cost him dearly. 3 laps to go. That's probably cost him any chance that he had of taking second place. Kevin Keys takes no prisoners, which he's entitled to do. He's the fastest man on the circuit. So it's up to you to get past, but it's good to see some common sense by some of the back markers not to interfere with the guys that are racing for position.
Yeah, but certainly, you know, you'd have to look at this as a concern for the faster men coming upon back marker traffic with 3 laps to go. It seems, you know,
yeah,
wow, there's a big gap. There's a big.
Yeah, it's something you bring up. I mean, qualifying times are really designed to prevent back markers getting in the way. So we might have to look at them. Has there been a change in the times that guys are put in qualifying to the times they're putting in at race? It's not something that I've been really aware of in the past. With 3 laps to go, the back markers get in the way. Look, it's exceptional good racing from Kevin Keys, Alan Kenny and Shane Connolly, but this is going to continue, and it's really not what you want to see, that back markers.
No, and I mean,
if weather conditions are changed, or if there's 3 or 4 guys involved, it's just got the potential to do something messy, and it's something we might take a look at later on. But in the meantime, with 1 lap to go, I think the last lap flag is being prepared, being held out to the minute. Kevin Keys has played a blinder in this one.
Yeah, he certainly is. Best lap time for him, 54.121. Brian McCormick is in trouble with the Rodos Macau machine. Looks to have sat up. I think he'd be pulling into the paddock there. There's Kevin Keys on his merry way up into turn 3 for the final time. Kevin Keys, the Eden Derry rider, County Offaly man, on the Darracor Racing R1 Yamaha.
He's rode a flawless race. You know, from flag to flag, he got away really cleanly, in and out of turn 1. No messing about. He didn't hang around. He could have sat back with 3 or 4 laps to go, but his times have been consistently in the 54s. So he's got good data as well with 14 laps of this race on his own. Lonely race for him, but that's not something you're going to complain about.
Takes the checkered flag. Kevin Keys, flag to flag victory for him. Alan Kenny gets that second place ahead of Shane Connolly, who will be come home in third, some way back down the field. Oh, and is he down? As Shane Connolly lost it on the last corner. It looks as though he may have.
Yeah, I think it has. So Brian McCormick could be gifted a podium. See, he was wheelie past the start-finish. Maybe he didn't realise he still had another lap to go. But if he can just get his head around that, I hope he hasn't come in the back gate. And Brian McCormick has indeed come in the back gate. So...
Well, there's third place, goes to Declan Madden, a Superbike Cup rider. So Declan Madden takes third place. And indeed it was Shane Connolly.
This doesn't make sense. Where is Emmett O'Grady? Where's Daniel Matheson? We're complete confusion here. We are being shown checkered flags for Declan Madden, who through the timing system has been given third position and obviously the cup win because he's first cup rider.
Yeah, well, on ours, I'm not sure what's happened here, but yeah, I think there may have been some confusion with the last lap flag. I'm not sure what's happened, but certainly a lot of confusion.
Alan Kenny's
up here
back in Park Fermer. Kevin
Yes.
Keys is in Park Fermer.
Yeah, well, they're not on track, Andy. They're not on track. I think
Not on track, yeah.
So I'm not sure what's happened, but
Kevin
Brian
Madigan,
McCormick did sit up with it when he thought was the last lap flag. We can no longer see it from here because the finishing podium
Brian pulled the wheelie past the start finish as if he was celebrating the end of the race. I think Brian has got one lap left to complete.
No idea what's happened here, Andy. I really don't. And we, according to our the countdown on the timing screen in front of us is correct, but some confusion with the riders. It may have been something to do with the podium here. I don't know what's happened. As I say, there's a new podium here below us and we cannot see the flags from it because there's a little roof over it. We're directly above it here in the commentary tower and I can't see what flags was shown. I can just about see it going out, but I can't see that it was waved or not, so we're not sure. And
from our timing screens, we can see that the following riders haven't been credited with a finish. Shane Connolly, obviously, he slipped off at Southside Motor Factors on the second last.
Well, according to our timing screens, there are only 6 finishers for the 14-lap race, and the 6th finisher is James Chalk, and that's the timing screen doesn't lie, Andy.
No, I think this is the result, and it's going to stand. So, from our perspective, it looks as though Kevin Keys obviously takes the win from Alan Kenny, and that will promote Declan Madden to third place overall. So, let's see what's happening at Park Fermer. We can see Kevin Madigan's bike. We can see, obviously, Kevin Keys' bike. We can see Alan Kenny, Shawnee Smith. So I think there is still one bike missing, which would explain why we can see 5. But I think there's one bike missing from Park Fermer. And I can see Emmett O'Grady walking. Good to see Shane Connolly come in the back gate, so rider and bike all together. Just one of those little spills. I'm sure he topped it just on the front end, so good to see him up and about. Couple of announcements to make while we're waiting on our pre-injection classic superbike race to get together. I'd like to celebrate some of the good work that the marshals have always been good to receive the good commentary that we have from our marshals, and I'd like to say a big shout out to Mr. Patrick Moore, who received Marshal of the Year quite recently, and indeed we did know there was a award for Junior Marshal of the Year, and that went to Darren Keating. So not quite sure where you're posted today, guys, but wherever it is, we hope you're enjoying yourself, and well done on those awards. Well deserved, well earned. Something to be quite proud of on the mantelpiece when you look down at it. Also, a big shout out to the Kells Club, who had their annual ride out last year. Great to catch up with Dermot Cork and Johnny Farley here today, of course. And the total number of bikes that we had on the day, even though it was quite inhospitable, cold weather, but nice and dry, managed to stay dry and sunny for us. We had 1,044 bikes who turned up on the day. And of course, with no event happening for the Kells Club, they unselfishly decided that all the proceeds of the run would go to some local nominated charities. So keeping our community in their thoughts, that's exactly what's happened. So we're going to see the benefits of the 1,044 bikes, money going to an autism charity in Longford that raise awareness on autism, and also a cancer team in RD. So both connected to the Kells Club. So a big shout out to the Kells Club for that great event to be part of again, and an annual event at this point in time. So maybe set your diaries for April of 2025 for the next one. So our next race will be the Principal Insurance Pre-Injection Classic Superbikes race. Again, the two classes combined with 12 laps, 2 sighting laps, 2 warm-up laps, and 12 competitive laps. Combination of R1s, R6s, Honda Fireblades, Ducati. We also have the Yamaha YZF 750s. And .600 Kawasaki 106 Stephen Williams from Cavan. Liam Dunn on a CBR 600 F3 bike. So pit lane is open for the classic superbikes and pre-injection, so if we can get this underway and stick to our timetable as much as we can. Robert Heathcote out on his easily identified blue Yamaha YZF 750 SP. Beautiful example of the classic superbike. Looks like the rest of the field starting to get down pit lane. Carl Sharkey on his number 45. Or 6 Yamaha. Michael Prendergast, number 21. Hard to mistake that. Ducati. It's the 853cc. Overboard 748. And Michael Prendergast will indeed be on pole position for this 12-lap race, following his good performance yesterday, knocking in a 57. 57-second lap, promotes him to pole position. So you watch number 986. That's Graham Anderson, another ZX6R Kawasaki in its factory green colours, and he will be on the third row, start of third row. Graham Anderson, 7th position, alongside number 20 Liam Dunn, a familiar face to the pre-injection community. Well, that's unfortunate now that 2 riders collected on the grid. That's Darryl Sharkey, who's come off his machine. Hopefully there's no lasting damage to that. Just give the levers a good grab Make sure there's no fluids amiss from that. Everything seems correct. Bit of hand front brake to pull that up, obviously on his P2 position, so he might be a little bit ginger tipping it into turn 1, even though they're warm-up laps. But it's Michael Prendergast who has P1 for this 12-lap race. All the way. Again, great footage from the See It Live team. Let's watch the riders take the first of their 2 warm-up laps. National Circuit here, Principal Insurance Masters Series. Good to see so many people filling the grandstand, trying to catch a bit of shade as opposed to ducking in out of the rain. Crowds here in Mondello. Round 1, 2 and 3. So, riders taking up their position for this 12-lap affair. Michael Prendergast on pole position. Just beside Michael is number 45, is Darrell Sharkey. Beside him, number 402, Jake Green, completing the front row. And we have a gap in the middle of the second row, 65 Paul O'Donoghue is missing, so that would leave in 4th place Owen Levy and 133 Robert Toner on the R1. And the lights go out. Bit of a drag race between Darrell Sharkey and Michael Prendergast. Yamaha Power versus V-Twin Ducati. Let's see who gets the better of this. All safely around turn 1 into the left-hander of turn 2, and it is indeed Darrell Sharkey who leads into turn 3. Not much in it. The Ducati of Michael Prendergast is all over Darrell Sharkey. Turn 4 could be a different affair. Probably the Ducati maybe a sharper handler of the 2 bikes, but the inline 4 will be quite nimble as well and will get out the S's quicker. So let's watch the brakes on the entry to Southside Motor Factors for the first time.
Yeah, 21 machine of Mick Prendergast. The Ducati there in second as he peel into Southside Motor Factors and down the main straight, and the Ducati stretching his legs on the inside of Sharkey now into turn 1 as we watch, but not quite. Darrell Sharkey holds him off for another little while anyway before that Ducati gets the better of the 600 Yamaha of Darrell Sharkey. Third place, Jake Crean, number 402. Fourth place was Rob Toner on a
Michael
classic
Prendergast
Superbike
makes a
machine.
move on Darrell Sharkey up the inside into turn 3. And let's see how he's going to manage turn 4. Maybe Darrell Sharkey come back straight at him. Running third place is Jake Crean, 402. That's a 600 R6 as well. The next 3 up are Robert Toner, Owen Levy and Liam Dunn. Robert Toner on the R1, moving up 1 position. Now Michael Prendergast held his position and leads as we come down the straight to begin lap 3. 10 laps to go.
And the distinctive roar of the V-twin Ducati 916. Mick Prendergast, beautiful machine, 58.302 and a half a second lead over Darrell Sharkey at the end of lap 2. So 2 laps completed of 12 already as the leaders peel off into turn 3 for the third of this 12-lap race. And there they are through, and in behind them Jake Crean on his 600 pre-injection machine number 402. Jake Crean from County Cavan on his R6 Yamaha, running in third position. Fourth place still is Robert Toner, number 133. Rob on an R1 Yamaha in the Classic Superbike event. Fourth place Owen Levy, pre-injection Classic Superbike of Liam Dunn there, running in sixth place. But here's the leaders back with us. And somebody well out on the tarmac there. Number 24, that is in fact, yes it is Owen Levy, right out on the curb there on the exit of turn 6. As Mick Prendergast gets around turn 2 already. And Darrell Sharkey 0.6 of a second in arrears behind him.
Yeah, the top 6 riders are under the minute margin now per lap. They've got obviously heat into their tyres, and they're knocking in. Michael Prendergast and Darrell Sharkey are doing 57s. Jake Crean, Robert Toner, Owen Levy, Liam Dunn are in the 58 and 59 bracket. And beyond that then just above the minute margin. So with still 9 laps to go, Michael Prendergast, fastest lap of this 12-lap race with 9 left to go, is 57.8. Darrell Sharkey 57.9, and that was on his last lap. So there's not much between himself and Prendergast. There's a dice going on between 133 Robin Toner, and just behind Robert Toner, that's the R1, is Owen Levy on an R6. So the extra cubes of the 1000cc bike doesn't seem to be doing Robert Toner all the justice that he needs, but we'll probably see that as they head out to turn 3. He should be able to stretch his legs of the R1 and get away from the R6. He'll probably just grab the brakes a little bit later and reel him back in for that double apexer. Have a look at the inside, just not close enough to make it stick, but he knows that if there's a gap there in the future that's the way he's going to go. But he's not going to wait for this lap. He's going under turn 4. That was a really cute move from Owen Levy, sticking the 600 under the chassis of the 1000cc R1 of Robert Toner. And meanwhile the leaders come back into the paddock at the exit Southside Motor Factors. It is still Michael Prendergast who leads, and we are watching the battle for 4th and 5th between Owen Levy and Robert Toner, R1 and R6 respectively. Bit of movement there from Robert Toner's bike on the entry to turn 2, so maybe his tyre's not lasting as long as he thought he might, but he reclaims 4th position from Owen Levy into turn 3, and the exit he'll have the grunt of that 1000cc bike. But let's see if Owen Levy can make it stick up the inside like he did on the previous lap.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a ding-dong all the way to the end, because Owen Levy seems to have a superior corner speed on that 600. As we're watching them up into Southside Motor Factors, there is Rob Toner, but has the lead around turn 6, and should be able to power away from the 600 Yamaha of Owen Levy, with just about a second in between the two of them as they cross the line. And we're concentrating on this battle now between these two. Robert Toner on the R1 Yamaha and the older R6 of Owen Levy, County Meath rider. And let's see if he can make any impression on him as they approach turn 3 on the 7th of 12 laps. So yeah, certainly Owen Levy does have that, seems to have that superior corner speed on the little 600, and as they come down into turn 4 in the main arena once more, leaders are already back with us up into Southside Motor Factors turn 6. Michael Prendergast on his 9162 caddy. As we're concentrating on this one here, they come up into Southside again. Is Owen Levy going to have a look up the inside? He does. Oh, but Rob Turner cuts across his bows, and has a little bobble on the way out, so that'll give Levy a little bit of encouragement here.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He rode a defensive line in to try and get on the gas early, and as he came out, just that back tyre maybe spun up ever so much and gave him a little fright. But it is handed the advantage to Owen Levy in that he knows that the extra power of the R1 just isn't enough to kill him down the straight. So you'll see that's evident here as he closes up on the rear of the R1 on that sharper handling, more nimble R6 of Owen Levy. So you might see a change in P4 as we come into turn 4, and we do not just yet, but this is a good battle to watch, as we should be really watching 1, 2 and 3, but I think this is much better entertainment watching these two guys duke it out. Even if they were on the similar size bikes, it'd be worth a watch, but the fact that it's that big bully of 1,000 against that little terrier of a 600, a bit of a moment for Owen Levy there maybe as well, trying to keep a tight line.
Yeah, and at the moment Rob Turner's trying to kick that little terrier away, and that terrier won't go. He had a look over his shoulder on the last lap. I don't think that's a great thing to do. So Levy really riding the wheels off his R6 Yamaha to try and get the better of this R1 Yamaha, but he's just he has his hands full trying to do that, and I'm sure Rob Turner has his hands full trying to fend him off. So maybe we should get a look back at the leaders. We'll get a look at them on track somewhere. There Turner has a look over his right hand shoulder again, and Owen Levy is going to have to go around the long way, and he looks like he's going to try it, and he does.
He does. It's a good line to get for the exit of the S's. It means you might get on a drive earlier, which gives you a bit of momentum coming up into the entry to Southside Motor Factors. Robert Turner's running awfully wide there, which is okay at the moment. But if you do something on the last lap and push Robert wide, he's not going to be able to get on the gas and be able to draft you down the main straight. So we'll keep an eye on that, see what happens with maybe 1 lap to go. See if Owen Levy has a desperate plan of action, if you like.
Yeah, nothing much changing there though, Andy, and keeping an eye out for our race leader on track. And there this is still the battle for 4th and 5th we're concentrating on.
Yeah, it's good entertainment, I have to say. I mean, I suppose if we compare like for like times with these and the Supersport bikes at the moment, they're not in touch, but they're not bad as lap times go, to be fair. So it is quite good competition to see these guys going at it. Just watching footage of Robert Heathcote on his YZF.
Pick up our race leader once again, coming on to lap 11 of 12 for Mick Prendergast, who continues to lead by 2.7 seconds from Daryl Sharkey, who had a little incident there on the grid formation, but no harm done, apparently. Number 10 there getting across the line. So Sharkey, Jake Green, number 4-2, Owen Levy actually did get the better of Rob Turner on that last lap. Are we back with it? Looks like we are.
Yeah, let's be careful that we keep an eye on that last lap flag when it comes out for this one at least.
So further down the field, we're watching as Noel Dunn and Austin King get through there in 9th and 10th positions. I can hear the Ducati coming across the line now to take that last lap flag. There is the number 21 machine of Michael Prendergast, the Caracon Shore rider. On a beautifully turned out 916 Ducati. Here is Daryl Sharkey has already across the line. Jake Green, there's Owen Levy, and Robert Turner across the line 2 seconds in arrears of Owen Levy. So Owen Levy has won that battle for 4th position and has put paid to the challenge of the R1 Yamaha of Rob Turner.
Excellent. No harm, not a bad result for him. He'll be quite happy with that. Maybe the international track might lend itself to better suit the 1000cc bike, but Owen Levy has shown in this case that 600 is the boss of the national circuit when it comes to the R1 and the R6.
So just watching out for our race leader now, and I can hear the distinctive roar of the Ducati, and gives the acknowledgement to his pit crew, and Mick Prendergast takes the win. Another win for Michael Prendergast in the Classic Superbike event. Darrell Sharkey across the line takes the spoils in the pre-injection class, and Jake Crean, Calvin Ryder, takes second place in the pre-injection. Owen Levy will take third in the pre-injection 600, and the Classic Superbike event, Robert Toner takes the win, or takes second place, I beg your pardon, in the Classic Superbike event. And then Liam Dunn on a 600 Honda finishes in 6th place and in 3rd position in the Classic Superbike race.
Yeah, it's going to be hard work over the 12 laps there for any of the riders, so they won't be too disappointed to see that checker flag come out so quickly in that weather condition. So that's that lap. That's that race concluded again. We'll hand you over to Fergus Brennan for the podium celebrations.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our final pre-injection and Classic Superbike race of the weekend. And we're going to do the podium for both. We're going to start with the pre-injection podium. And in 3rd place, it was Owen Levy. Owen. Nobody's coming up. Owen, 3rd place. Jake Crean, 2nd. There you go, Jake Crean. And our winner, Darrell Sharkey.
Thank you, Fergus.
Excellent. Good man, Darrell. Well, how's that? It was a bit hot out there for you.
Yeah, it's warm out there now. You'd want a fan coming behind you or in front of you to cool you down. So I was just glad to see the checkered flag now at the end of it. But all good fun now. Enjoyed it. Great to be back. Not travelling up the north the whole time. So yeah, hopefully keep going this way and knock Sharky off the top step, and that's the plan. So keep going from there.
Well, that sounds like a good plan to me. Well done.
Cheers. Thank you.
Now, moving on to our second place man. How was that for you out there?
Great, Fergus. Great crack, great weather, so you can't really ask much better.
And what was the... I didn't get to see the race, so was there much of a battle between you guys?
Look, I was trying to keep going with Sharky, but we did all we could for today, and look, next time we get around, we'll try and keep in front of him.
Okay, well, obviously this man here has a lot more experience than you, and so it's going to take a bit to catch him. Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, but you look at, we'll get there at some stage. It's good to be on the podium here with these boys, Levy and Sharky, so good crack, good crack.
Well done. Darryl, hop down here. You're not that old. Well, at least you don't look that old, but you're still well able to ride a bike around.
Well, I don't know about well able, but the boys really put it to me. Lucky enough, got a good start, got tucked in behind Mick, and he's the faster machine, so kind of towed with him. But the boys kept it honest, like, it was tough work all weekend to try to keep ahead of these boys. Phenomenal. So, look, at the advantage of this class, everybody's friendly, it's good fun and a safe race, and I just want to say a massive thank to sponsors, help down here, everybody that's put this back together, so it's great to be back racing, Fergus.
Amen to that. Well done to our top three in pre-injection, and then we're going to move on to the Classic Superbikes. And in third place in Classic Superbikes, it's Noel Dunn. We got Noel here, yeah? Noel's on his way up.
I'm not getting up here, look. I'm not getting there.
Well done, Noel. There you go. Thanks, well done. And then in second place, it's Liam Dunn. And we'll call Michael up now, get him up as well. Michael Prendergast, our winner today. Well done, Liam. Just grab Michael's trophy. Bring it over to him there, well done. Hop up there first, do it the proper way, Mick. There you go, well done.
Thanks, Fergus.
Noel, have you any words to say for me? You don't normally have much to say.
No, nothing to say. Just a lovely day, enjoying ourselves, and it's going to be lovely to be back here, and thanks to everyone in Mondello.
Okay, thank you.
And all the marshals.
Good, actually, that's one thing Noel always gets in, is to make sure that he mentions the marshals. Well done to him. Liam, it's hard to catch this man, isn't it?
Oh, look, I didn't see the back of him now, and that's how close I got. I couldn't even see him. He's riding well, to be fair. You'll have to do a lot now to catch him.
Yeah. But you boys are still going well, still enjoying it here.
Yeah, sure, look, it's a great experience to be back after missing last year, and look, to share the podium with the father. You know, these things only come around once in a while, and it wouldn't happen without our sponsors, you know, CMP, Latec, John Murphy's. It's great to have them on board.
Okay, well done. Family affair up here with the two men on the podium. Great to see it. And Michael, lovely bike that, but do you want some more competition?
Well, it's a good old battle with the pre-injection boys. I know the bike is just doing what I want now, which is a big difference from the Fireblade, say. It's a lot nicer around the track and better through the corner. So it's a good match for the pre-injection lads. So
you got a bit of a battle at the start from Darryl.
Yeah, it's Steph and Dash. We go back a long time racing now, so I mean, it's good. It's just bringing back our youth, I suppose. What's left of it.
Well, well done to the top three there in Classic Superbikes, and also to the top three in pre-injection. And we'll hand back over to James up in the top of the tower.
There the next day.
Thanks very much, Fergus. So we'll continue with the final outing of the afternoon for the DM Groundworks Moto 1 and Junior Supersport riders. And they've done their siding laps, so they're just lining up, getting their grid positions ahead of their 2 warm-up laps. And then we will have a 10-lap race. Just watching Fionn Stevens on that luminous green and yellow Tianda 300, practicing his starts. course, practice start's so important here in those smaller classes where if you bog the bike down, very hard to make up the time again. So we keep an eye on Fionn again. So the grid for this race looks like this. In pole position, Ruben Sherman Boyd after that brilliant result of race 2. And Rhys Gates will probably continue where he left off from race 2, and he's second on the grid. Just alongside him is John O'Connell on the number 3 blue Yamaha R3. Second row, Joey Hennessy with Fionn Stevens again on that Tianda. And sixth position, completing row 2, is Joey Milliken. Row 3 is 115 Alana Maher. 27 is Adam Carey from Dunshaughlin. And number 9th on the grid is number 957, Buster Sherman Boyd. Fionn O'Connell coasting down the outside. Number 3, that blue R3, take up his position on row 1, the third place. Rhys Gates then 915, also on an R3, being mentored by Jim Halligan. No bad thing. And Ruben Sherman Boyd on a Kawasaki Ninja 400, number 71.
Yeah, watch this young man in the middle of the front row, Rhys Gates. Yellow bib on him to signify he's a newcomer. And really has...
Stevens has a problem there, he's struggling to get going. Not quite sure if he stalled the bike. So he is going to have to just park it up and get off. So that's his race over before it even starts, unfortunately for Fionn. He dumped the clutch too early, and he's got it going. Luckily enough, so he can get back out there and see if he can make anything of this. But that's definitely not the start that he wanted. Again, dumped the clutch, bogged the bike, got it hard to restart, and just got it started when he did move off the racing line, and eventually got it going. But he's got a long and lonely 10 laps ahead of him, unfortunately. But anyway, back to the leaders. No surprise, it's Ruben Sherman Boyd who leads into Southside Motor Factors for this first lap of 10, followed by Rhys Gates and Fionn O'Connell.
Yeah, and Ruben Sherman Boyd earlier this morning, and we remember had that problem out in the second lap when he just seemed to lose all power and just lost a whole lot of ground and ended up in 7th or 8th position at the end of lap 2, but made it back up, and that really more or less handed Rhys Gates his victory. But don't take anything away from this young man. He's been absolutely flying on the Jim Halligan machine, and just new to road racing. You know, he's got the newcomer's bib on. He did the track, the license day a couple of weeks back, and he's just taken to it like a duck to the proverbial water. Has done a little bit of pit bike racing in the past. I was speaking to James Halligan earlier at lunchtime about it, but apart from that, not a whole lot of experience. And James Halligan, you know, James is a great chap to get it on board with, because James likes looking after young lads. You know, he has a couple of bikes in his stable, and if a young lad is willing to put in the effort, James Halligan will look after you, and it's nice to see it. You know, James, an ex-racer of some repute himself, and knows his way around Mondello Park in no uncertain way, in more ways than most.
Certainly does.
Yeah, nice to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see previous competitors putting something back into the sport. And I think Jim Halligan is a classic example of that, how he's mentoring, you know, Reese. And you can see the benefits straight away. That, you know, a race win, your first weekend out, a couple of weeks after getting your first competitive license. I mean, but I've always been a favourite of catching riders at this level and at this age anyway. Looking at riders being successful in their 20s, it's really great and it's positive to see. But you're really 10 years past the mark. You need to be picking up these riders when they're showing promise riding mini motos and get them onto these modern, you know, full-size machinery as quickly as we can and get them orientated to short circuits, you know, almost before they're in their teens.
That's for sure. Reuben Sherman Boyd continues to lead by a second from Rhys Gates, and then it's Fionn O'Connell in third place on that beautifully turned out R3 Yamaha. Fionn O'Connell in third. Alana Maher going there in fourth position. Alana number 115 and the Junior Supersport class then. Fionn O'Connell, of course, is first of the Moto 1 riders, and second place in the Moto 1 class at the moment is Joey Hennessy, number 30. And then another newcomer running in sixth place in the Supersport class, that's number 931, Joey Milliken. Joey, number 4. Don't have him in my race program, but not sure what town he comes from. Here we are back with the race leaders once again, down to complete another lap, with 6 laps now completed of the 10 for Reuben Sherman Boyd, who has a 1.5 second lead now over Rhys Gates, then Fionn O'Connell. As we watch some of our backmarker traffic coming through, a yellow flag being waved there in somebody down there in turn 1. Not sure who that was, but I just saw the yellow flags being deployed as
just wondering,
Alana Maher and Joey Hennessy came through.
On. No, it's not Fionn Stevens. It's a Sean. Now we'll take up. No, it's actually Rhys Gates. Looks like 915 Rhys Gates has been a cropper. He's gone into the gravel. He's up okay. He's 100%. He's fine. Bike's okay, undamaged as well. But that's his race over. So that's going to promote Fionn O'Connell into second and Alana Maher into third.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Rhys Gates. Not sure what happened, but as the battle for third, fourth and fifth was coming through, we saw the yellow flag deployed, and that is Alana Miles as we're watching her on the exit of turn 6, Southside Motor Factors turn 6, and she's got some close competition there with Joey Hennessy. In fact, yes, there she is up into third place now. Alana Maher from Joey Milliken and Joey Hennessy. Mark Carey there in sixth place. And across the line now, Fionn Stevens in seventh place following that.
Nice little recovery from Fionn after that horrible start. Good to see him make up another 3 positions. And his lap times are very consistent as well. 103s all around. His best lap was a 103 flat. Last lap was 103.3. So if he hadn't made a Hames at that initial start, he'd be probably running third on the road. My calculations could be wrong, but we still have only 6 laps. 6 laps of 10 complete, 4 laps left to go. So not to say that there could be another positional change for the young Tianda 300 rider, Fionn Stevens.
I wonder, as we're just watching there, I can see from the commentary tower, young Rhys Gates watching on. I wonder what's going through his mind at the moment, just watching on from the bank for probably the first time in his career, and just saying, oh, well, everything was going so well, and then all of a sudden, bang, it just happens, and you're on and you're sliding on the road and across into the gravel trap. But he's certainly spectating up there with the marshals, and none the worse for wear. So all the best, Reece. Congratulations on your first win this morning. But that's the way it goes sometimes, and I'm sure you'll be back and live to fight next weekend out back in the middle of May. So we look forward to seeing you again, Reece, and all the best for next time out.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like any obvious damage to the bike, so hopefully it'll be just a rattle can of green paint, and he'll be back in contention in May. And of course, he's up and running around as well, so he'll be in school tomorrow telling his friends how his Sunday went. And it's going to be a great story. So looking at the classification again, it's still Ruben Sherman Boyd who leads after 7 laps, with the fastest lap of the race so far as well, a 101.874, ahead of Fionn O'Connell on the blue R3, number 3, who is 4.5 seconds adrift of Ruben, and then Joey Milliken, who is number 931, and that is 931. That's a Ninja 400 Kawasaki in the Junior Supersport category. So I hope we see with Joe Milliken from Antrim back in June for rounds 4, 5 and 6 as well. And Fionn Stevens makes another position up into 7th, and his last lap was his best lap, a 102.7. He might have some clear track in front of him, get his head down, and indeed he has. I think that was Mark Carey he just passed. And Fionn Stevens actually just passed Mark Carey on that exit of Southside Motor Factories, and that's promoting him up into 6th. And let's see where that puts him in the Moto 1 category. That puts him on the podium in the Moto 1 category. So that's a really good recovery from Fionn Stevens. That'll do his spirits no harm altogether. So still 2 laps to go in this final Declan Madden Groundworks Junior Supersport and Moto 1 race of the afternoon and the weekend. So everybody will be able to pack up and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
So the last lap flag is out for Ruben Sherman Boyd, who has that 4.7 second lead over Fionn O'Connell. Next in 3rd place should be, yes, it is Joey Milliken, who has got the better of Alana Maher, but only 1/10 of a second in it between those two, and that's going to be an exciting finish to the race here for the battle for 3rd place between Joey Milliken and Alana Maher. Fionn O'Connell certainly safe there in 2nd place and leading in the Moto 1 class. Next through then is Joey Hennessy, also Moto 1 mounted, and then Fionn Stevens, who, as we said already, has made that brilliant recovery and will get a podium in the Moto 1 class following that stall on the start line. Watching out for our race leader, and here he is to take the checkered flag. Looks over his shoulder. Ruben Sherman Boyd takes the win by quite a substantial 4.3 seconds in this class from Fionn O'Connell in 2nd place. Now the battle for 3rd we have to watch, ladies and gentlemen, and here they come. And it looks like Joey Milliken is going to get the better of Alana Maher, and he does. So Joey Milliken takes it by just 1/10 of a second from Alana Maher. What a great ride from her. Joey Hennessy crosses the line there. 2nd place in the Moto 1 class, just ahead of Fionn Stevens, who got up and takes the 3rd step of the podium in the Moto 1 class. So yeah, an eventful junior race, combined Supersport and Moto 1 machines, but Ruben Sherman Boyd takes the spoils in the Junior Supersport, and the winner of the Moto 1, Fionn O'Connell, 2nd on the road and also winner of the Moto 1 class. So well done to all, and there on your screen you can see the full list of finishers.
Yeah, it just shows you, even with the smaller, slower speed categories, you just can't take your eyes off it. There's always something going on, especially when you have the combined classes. In this case, Junior Supersport and Moto 1, they can mix it up with each other quite well. Similar lap times, but two completely different races going on in field. So just confirming that result for Ruben Sherman Boyd, and 2nd in Junior Supersport Joey Milliken, and Alana Maher was 3rd. In the Moto 1 category, Fionn O'Connell Number 3 on the blue Yamaha R3 wins the Moto 1 category ahead of Joey Hennessy, number 30, and Fionn Stevens 17 on the Tianda 300. And our riders are just being pulled in by our technical stewards who want to check the machine specifications, so we'll get them into the scrutiny shed before we hand them over to the podium celebration. And then the next race up is going to be a cracker. Sun's out, guns out. The Principal Insurance Supersport race is next. It's going to be almost an endurance race compared to the previous ones if we can get the 14 laps to run consecutively.
Right, a little bit of a delay there, but we're finally ready to go with the Moto 1 podium. It's going to be a little bit quick because we're nearly ready for our next race. So we're going to call up straight away. In third place is Fionn Stevens. Second place, Joey Hennessy. And our winner, Fionn O'Connell. Now we only have time for a very quick word. So how do you feel now after your first weekend?
Yeah, it was good, and I stalled the bike at the start, but I got back third, so it was good.
Good, well done.
Thank you.
Now moving on to Joey. These will be very quick interviews. Joey, how do you feel now after that weekend?
Tiring. It's very warm.
Yes.
Not much to say. It was a good weekend.
Okay, thank you very much. That's really like short and sweet. Fiona O'Connell, top step of the podium. Well done.
Yeah, couldn't have ended it better. Unreal weekend. Just another cherry on top to finish the weekend.
Okay, well done to our top three in Moto 1. Some of the bikes have been brought into scrutiny, and that's what the delay was, but we are going to move on straight away now to the Junior Supersport. We just get the three lads down from the top step of the Junior Supersport. And we'll be looking down for Alana Marr. Alana Marr, third place. First appearance here at Mondello Park, first and up on the podiums. Great performance. Well done, Alana. And second place, Joey Milliken. And our winner is Ruben Sherman Boyd. Well done, Joey. Well done, Ruben. Now, Alana, first time here in Mondello Park and first time up on the podium. That's a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely delighted. I managed to get a second yesterday, but there was no podium yesterday. I'm a bit devastated about that, but no, delighted to be up on the podium. I only ever had a few laps around here a couple of weeks ago, and it was on the international track, so I'm delighted to be up here today. But
okay, well done. Very good performance for a first time here in the Junior Supersport. Another podium.
I don't even know what to think at the minute. I'm just knackered. It's some race, having a bit of fun there, tossing and turning, trying to get past her there. I don't know.
Well, catch your breath there, Joey. You've done really well. It's been a great weekend here for you. Still wearing the novice belt or bib, and you're up on the podium.
Oh, yeah, only third race. It's doing well, I think. I don't really know.
Okay, well done, Ruben. Another top step. Back where you think you belong, I think.
Yeah. No, we got the problem with bike sorted. So Mark Sandlon, all from Team Wood, came over and gave us a hand. Like to thank all my sponsors for, getting me here as well.
Okay, well done to our top three. Sorry the podiums have to be so short, but we've got to get on with the next race, which is just about to get going. So we hand back over to Andy and James.
Thanks very much, Fergus. And some newcomers to the podium there. Good to see it. Well done, Joey Milliken and Alana Maher. Well done down there, young lady and young man. Well done, Alana. First time at Mondello Park and a podium in the final race of the weekend for you. Well done. Nice to see it. And looking at the pictures here, we're waiting on the start of the second Supersport race of the day, the Principal Insurance Supersport Race 2 of Sunday. And there's the hooter to clear the grid, the third Supersport race of the weekend here at Mondello Park. And we have...
I spy with my little eye a change of machinery, James. If you look at the middle of row 2, and it looks like Emmett O'Grady is on an R6 and will not be racing for points. Can't see. So his teammate Oisin Maher has his AK Racing Thomas Bourne Honda, but Emmett is on.
He's on Dara Crean's machine by the look of it, and he certainly is on Dara Crean's machine. And no reason why you can't race for points on that machine either.
I thought you had to race on the bike you qualified on. Oh, okay, fair enough. Thanks
sure,
for that.
I could be wrong there. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure what's happening. The number is crossed out because it's the incorrect number. Not sure what's happening down there. There's been a few unusual things happen today already, and we won't go into much about. We had a bit of confusion with your Superbike race, and that was due to a last lap flag. There was a bit of confusion over that, and I'm not sure. I think the result will stand, but there won't be any championship points awarded for that earlier Superbike race. That's the very unofficial line so far. It will come out later on. and there may be a rerun of this race at a later event. Not too sure exactly. That's down to the officials of the meeting. So some strange things happening. Not sure what's going on.
Also, Adam McLean is missing from the grid. I took a walk around lunchtime around the paddock, and everything seemed business as usual. I know they had the machine stacked up, so I'm not quite sure why Adam McLean is no show for this event. He cleaned up in the last 2 races, so you would have put him down as a favourite to hold off the advances, unwanted advances of Kevin Keyes and Oisin Maher for race 3. But there's a gaping hole in the top of the grid as row 1 is unpopulated by Adam McLean, leaving Kevin Keyes on a tentative pole position with Oisin Maher completing row 1. And then solitary 2 bikes again on row 2. Who is missing from row 2? Brandon Kavanagh, I think, is... No, Derek Green, obviously because he's lent his machine to Emmett O'Grady, will sit this one out. So some subtle changes being made. Keeps us on our toes, James.
Certainly does, Andy. Just had a mouthful of coffee there, sorry, excuse me. Keeping me on my toes, you were. So, yeah, we'll, as you say, no Adam McLean, which is disappointing. Not sure why. Didn't mention any issues. I listened to his interview with Fergus Brennan just before lunch, and he was very, very happy with everything. But obviously, for some reason or other, he's not with us for this final Supersport 600 race of the weekend, sponsored by Principal Insurance. And once again, our thanks to our sponsors of the Masters Superbike Championship this year, and of course
again, it's such excellent footage for the people that can't make it here. You know, to witness these corners that are inaccessible, even if you were here, to see them all linked together. You can see how the different sectors, how they change, and the different. You know, I think this is a fascinating circuit. For the shortness that it has, it's got so many technical elements to it. You dive into the hairpin at turn 1, and then you take the first left-hander turn 2, negative camber, can catch people out awfully on a really cold day with the left-hand side of the tyre not picking up some heat. Then you have this double apex, positive camber, followed by a negative camber at the exit of turn 3, then this long left-hander, beautiful corner, leading up out of the S's into Southside Motor Factors, hard on the brakes, tank in your belly as you're grabbing that front lever as hard as you can. I think it really is a fascinating circuit, and you're never going to get your bike completely set up for everything. Your gearing might suggest one thing, it's going to push you around the corners, bog you. So it's just really trying to get the best combination of good handling, good gearing for super sports. When this bike is so on its side so often, it's so important on these bikes. I just find it a fascinating circuit for these types of bikes. You know, superbikes with their electronics and rider aids as well can help you progress and stuff. But super sport, it's a direct connection between your brain and the right hand. And I think it looks almost easy to these guys because they're doing such a brilliant job. Everything they do doesn't look out of place. And what these guys can do in the wet, I couldn't do in an accident in the dry, and I have the height of respect for them. And it's days like this, they really turn on the style. And as I said, it doesn't look spectacular because they're so in control at such a high speed. I think it's a huge credit to them.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and that's for sure, Andy. And as you say, so many different technicalities about the track here, and a lot of it off camber, which is quite unnerving on a race bike, on a road bike, never mind a race bike. But these guys just tend to take it all in their stride and take the good with the bad, and really taking the good with the bad this weekend. The good weather has been really kind to us so far, and we're basking in glorious sunshine here in Mondello Park in County Kildare, enjoying the first round of the Principal Insurance Masters Superbike Championship. And here we are with the grid for the Principal Insurance Supersport race. No pole position man, Adam McLean. We're not sure what happened there. And also Brandon Kavanagh missing off row 2. So that gives a clear run for Jack Worthy to make a run into turn 1. And Jack Worthy gets a flying start from the second row of the grid and finds himself in 3rd position around patch
we
turn
have a
1.
faller there, 2 fallers, but a slow speed bingle there, nothing drama. They're going to get them picked up. So that looked like couldn't quite make out who it was. 51, Richardson maybe. No, we'll just let the marshals do their job. Both riders just had a little tumble, nothing to worry about. As we watch Kevin Keys crest the brow of the hill coming out turn 3 into turn 4, with Oisin Maher breathing down his neck. And then that should be in 3rd position. Emmett O'Grady, you would expect. Michael Sweeney's in 2nd. Have we lost Kevin Keys? No, Kevin is running 3rd. It's Oisin Maher who leads from Mick O'Sweeney in 2nd. What a fascinating first lap. I completely missed all of that with the little incident at turn 1.
Yeah, thankfully that incident has been cleared up. Yeah, so Oisin Maher leads it from Michael Sweeney and Kevin Keys. Jack Worthy benefiting from that gap in front of him, where Adam McLean should have been on the opening on the first lap up into turn 1, but the leaders back through turn 4. There is our race leader Oisin Maher, and who's to say he won't hold on here? Kevin Keys, very, very experienced 600 rider, and of course Michael Sweeney, no slouch around Mondello Park either.
No, he's a demon on the brakes. I've always watched Mikko, and he dabs the back brake there as well, and it looks as though the bike's out of shape, but it's just how he gets it stopped. So here we go, the first flying lap. Oisin was the quickest in the sectors, but of course that was the out lap with that little bit of mayhem. And for lap 2, Kevin Keys is the quickest with a 55.565, and Mick O'Sweeney in 3rd position, 0.3 of a second back, but still in the 56s, but he'll probably drop into the 55s with this lap, because Kevin and Oisin are going to start mixing it up as well. So you're going to be riding defensive lines and probably not the quickest lines around the circuit. So that'll play into Michael Sweeney's hand. He'll be able to watch the shapes of Kevin and Oisin as they do a lap together. I would say Kevin will probably look up the inside or south side here, but maybe not close enough. Just
he's up.
Well, he's close enough now.
He's there,
and that's going to force Oisin wide. Kevin gets on the gas. Good clean move. Kevin's been very clinical all afternoon. He's never put a foot out of place apart from that probably less than perfect start in the initial race, but his overtakes have been absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and once he gets his nose in front, he's I think Oisin Maher is going to find it hard to stick with the flying Kevin Keys. Remember Kevin, he had a great year on this machine already in 2022, and he's back with it, and also campaigning the Darracor Racing R1 Yamaha in the Superbike class, and remains unbeaten there so far this weekend. And who's to say he won't do a hat-trick of it? Well, that's all up in the air. He did finish 14 laps in that earlier Superbike race, which is in question, which there will be no championship points for, but that's another day's work. We're watching the action here as Michael Sweeney keeping an eye on Oisin Maher. Oisin just trying to keep everything nice and upright on the exit of that corner. Michael Sweeney, yeah, this will not be a priority for Michael Sweeney this weekend, but will certainly be happy to take a podium here if it's
yeah, I mean, he backed the podium yesterday, so going home with 2 certainly won't be the end of the world. I mean, what Michael will probably want to take out of this weekend is 2 to 3 days of competitiveness on a bike, and with the shortened national circuit, you're rarely taking a break. So the bike's on its left, it's on its right, you're braking, you're gunning it. So for in terms of fitness, Mikko will want to come away with this. Look at a couple of points, and sitting nicely in the table is obviously a bonus. But probably looking at Friday with Coopstown, Mikko will want to come out of this weekend with a couple of points in the bag, confidence building, and knowing that his fitness is back to where it should be.
Yep, I think it's you might say I don't think he'll be a contender in the championship this year. It's more track time weekend for Michael Sweeney this year to get back to full fitness and looking pretty strong in that quest. So Kevin Keys leads it by 1.2 seconds, almost 1.3 seconds. Oisin Maher 0.2 of a second to the good over Michael Sweeney, the Skerries rider. Then a further 3 seconds down the road is Emmett O'Grady in fourth. And what we've established is Dara Green's machine. Jack Wortley leading the Supersport Cup class there in 5th place. Then it's Daniel Matheson, 7th place, and second in the Supersport Cup class is Brandon Kavanagh. 8th place, Ona Shukru. 9th is number 152, Gary Riley, who is now in 3rd place in the Cup class. Here's our leaders back through Southside Motor Factors turn 6. And our race leader Kevin Keys with now 6 laps completed of 14. 54.961, the best lap for Kevin Keys. So he's circulating a full half second quicker than anybody else on track, Andy.
Yeah, just looking at the sector times again, so obviously they calculate and make him the fastest guy in the circuit, but he's not just faster overall, he's faster through the 2 sectors. And then through the speed trap, Michael Sweeney, he's almost clocking 200 Ks as he comes past the tower. So that R6 it's a really fast missile, and he'll be happy with his position, probably sitting behind Oisin. Look at Oisin is a short circuit specialist, so for Mikko to be coming down here with limited track time on that R6, he's going to be quite happy sticking with the likes of Oisin, and just let Kevin disappear in the distance. That's not his objective this weekend. That wasn't on his list of things to do, was to beat Kevin Keys. I think his weekend is going really according to plan, and he's going to be very satisfied heading back to North County Dublin this weekend. And he's not created any work for Kev Corbally in his evening time. So Kev, looks like you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening off, but from Friday on you're back on point, boy.
Yeah, that's for sure. Fastest lap of the race still stands to Kevin Keys, 54.961. Can't see anyone threatening that, not even Kevin Keys at this stage, but just circulating comfortably in the low 55 second bracket, Kevin Keys. And really that's what it's all about. It's all about consistency. We've mentioned this already, Andy, and consistency. And he's done it in the Superbike race, and Kevin has developed into quite a fine rider over the years with all his experience. You know, going back, a rider down in turn 4, a big cloud of dust in turn 4, not sure who that was, somebody further down the field. Bike has disappeared in under the tyre barrier, but I'm not sure if that's going to cause us some problems. Hopefully it won't. Yellow flags being waved vigorously there. Not sure who came to grief there. But yeah.
I have a funny feeling that was Gary Riley.
Yeah, I think it was. In fact, Andy, I could see him.
Number 152, I think it's Gary. Riley's up. He's talking to the marshals. Perfectly all right. Just one of those slow speed slides in turn 4. Not a lean angle there, can catch you out. But yeah, just on Kev, I mean, he banked the fastest lap of the race on lap 4. He can go faster, but there's no need. Why? He's got nothing to gain. He's got a healthy 2.4 second lead. He's going to get a pit board to tell him that. So he's matured in his riding, in that he knows exactly what he has to do to bring this race home. And doing something silly now it wouldn't make sense. So you're going to see Kev's lap staying in 55s. He's not going to better his own 54 second lap. There's nothing for that. So yeah, it's good race management. It's good overall game plan.
Clever rider, and a lot of experience over in the British Superbike Championship over the years throughout the different classes, and he's proved that he can do it on any stage, and able to manage this very, very comfortably now, with just coming up to complete 11 laps of 14, with just 3 remaining at the end of this one for our leader, who is across the line now, Kevin Keys. Another 55.3 that time, 55.374 for Oisin Maher. Michael Sweeney 55.297. So Michael Sweeney hasn't given up on maybe a little bit of a challenge with Oisin Maher, but yeah, I think Michael might be thinking, yeah, Oisin, yeah, I think I'll just leave him have it. I don't want to get stuck in a tangle with him.
Yeah, again, if you think of the risk and reward scenario, I'm sure Michael could probably close the gap and maybe have a sneaky look on the entry to Southside. But then the other side of that is, what if it goes wrong? He tucks the front, he takes a slide. Again, there's Kevin Corbali's week getting busted and a couple of late nights during the week, and maybe take a slap before it cooks down. So at the moment he's sitting pretty, and he's looking well. You can't win the championship on the first weekend, but you can certainly do an awful lot of damage to your hopes of picking it up towards the end of the year. We have another 5 weekends of this, so yeah, why would you? So just watching him get past some back markers there, not quite sure who that was, but
David Duffy, in fact,
David Duffy, indeed,
rider. Yeah, he was the man that was swallowed up by the leaders, and with just 3 laps remaining, less than 3 now at this stage, and we're watching that. I wouldn't say a battle, it's just a little contention for second place, but I can't really see Michael Sweeney going for this here. I don't think he wants to get involved with Oisin Maher. Oisin Maher, he'll know this. Oisin Maher is here for the championship. Michael is here for race fitness, and that's all. That's all. He doesn't want to do anything silly, as you're saying. Just, you know what?
Yeah, you're exactly right, James. Exactly right. The two guys have got two different agendas for 2024, and it just so happens they're running second and third at the minute. But they've got completely different objectives for the rest of the year. I mean, we don't know. Are we going to see Oisin go to the UK for some BSG rounds? He seems to be gelling quite well on that AKR Thomas Bourne Honda. So yeah, let's see what, you know what, round next month's race and the entry that comes with it is going to tell us an awful lot about what the rest of the year is going to pan out.
Absolutely. Kevin Keys maintains that 3-second gap between him and Oisin Maher. Michael Sweeney just 2/10 adrift from Oisin, but yeah, you know, that's not to say if Oisin leaves the gap that Michael Sweeney doesn't take it, because he will. At the end of the day, he's a racer, you know, and so we'll see. 2 laps down, last lap flag being prepared now by our officials, and here is Kevin Keys, does take that last lap flag, and yeah, there's your answer there. Michael Sweeney certainly settling for that second place, isn't going to offer any bit of a challenge to
and again,
Maher in that second place.
Because they're making this look so controlled and so predictable, you know, they're just doing their jobs really, really well.
Absolutely, and
consistent 55s. There's not a thing in the world wrong with that. But because they're doing it so well, it just looks easy. But it's not really. They're still on the limit for tyre grip and stuff like. The slightest little upset will throw any of these riders off.
There's our race leader, and soon to be winner as he gets around turn 5 for the final time. Kevin Keys, fastest lap of the race was up on your screen there, 54.961 on lap 4. Here he is around Southside Motor Factors for the final time and down onto the main straight, and a big wheelie from Kevin Keys on the Darracor Racing R6 Yamaha all the way up the main straight. Well done, Kevin. Brilliant to see you back on the top step again in the 600 class. Oisin Maher takes second place. Michael Sweeney, some 7/10 in arrears, takes third position. Good result for the Skerries rider and a nice weekend's work for him. Emmett O'Grady gets a 4th place on Dara Crean's machine. Emmett O'Grady takes 4th, Supersport Cup winner, and in 5th place Jack Werty takes the win. Runner-up in the Supersport class and 6th on the road was Brandon Kavanagh. We're waiting for the 3rd place man who crosses the line now. It's James Walsh, takes 3rd place in the Supersport Cup class number 87. James Walsh, the Cork rider. Well done, James, on a Triumph Daytona 675. So that's the top 3 in the Supersport Cup class. And just getting down through the other finishers in the Supersport class, 7th place was Daniel Matheson, 8th place was Ono Shukru, 9th place was Dean Lacey, and then in 10th, of course, was James Walsh. Well done, James, and I'm sure I'd say that could be James's first podium. Well done to James Walsh, the West Cork rider, and nice result for him, finishing 3rd in the Supersport Cup class. Des Mackesy was 11th in number 54, Des Mackesy. 12th was Supersport Cup rider Shane Mulligan. 13th, Keelan Smith. 14th was Jack Mears, and 15th, Stephen Heelan. And on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, anyone that's watching, there's all the results coming up. I just missed that. I was reading off my timing screen. They're up on the TV screen for you all there, so it just confirms what I've just told you. And very shortly, we'll be going to Fergus Brennan for the podium presentations as we look at the panoramic view of Mondello Park from the cameras at Southside Motor Factors Turn 6. You can see the beautiful, beautiful weather we have here this afternoon. And we're waiting on Fergus. I think Fergus is almost ready down there to take over for the podium presentations for the Principal Insurance Supersport race.
Well, that brings to the end the Supersport, the Principal Insurance Supersport races for this weekend. And what a cracker that was. We're going to do the podium the usual way. We're going to start with the Supersport Cup, and then we're going to move on to the overall Supersport race. And once again, we have Ali Dixon from our overall sponsors, Principal Insurance, is here to present the awards. So we're going to call up in reverse order as usual. In the Cup, in third place, it's James Walsh. And second place, Brandon Kavanagh. And our winner of the Cup, Jack Querty.
Back again.
Well, we'll have a quick word with James. James, I don't think you knew you were in third place, did you?
Not until probably 2 laps to go when I saw McKeown out with the pit board and I realised that was for me. And then I saw 3 on it. I'm like, okay, that's not too bad. We'll keep going. I was closing down on the lad in front, but if we had another lap or 2, I might have pegged it. But it was a great race. Really enjoyed it now. So surprised, but delighted.
You've enjoyed your weekend?
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The weather, Mondello put on a great show. The crowds here as well. So thanks very much for everyone coming out and appreciating the racing.
All right, thanks very much, James. Well done on getting onto the podium. Brandon, second place again. You pushed him hard, though.
Yeah, pushed him a bit harder that time now, so I'm happy enough. I was going to make a move in the last corner, but he defended well, so look, 3 seconds all weekend, so happy.
You've the rest of the season to get him.
Yeah, that's it. It's a long year, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay, well done, Brandon. Good weekend for you. But the star of the Supersport Cup this weekend is definitely Jack Querty. What a weekend.
Yeah, really good weekend. 3 out of 3 wins. Didn't expect that now coming into the weekend, but look, the bike's working good and I'm enjoying it, so that's the main thing.
And of course, the man who makes it all happen, Mr. DM Groundworks.
Oh yeah, Declan Madden, he's the man. Declan giving me a load of help, he's great. Mick Wearty too, we got a fresh set of tyres on the bike there before we went out, so he supplied them, so happy out.
Okay, well done to our top 3 in the Supersport Cup, Principal Insurance Supersport Cup, James Walsh, Brandon Kavanagh and Jack Querty. So we're moving on then to the overall race, and in third place in the overall race was Mick Sweeney. Great to see him back up on the podium. Hopefully he'll be a regular visitor to it this year. Adds a lot to every event he's at. One of the local stars here, Mick Sweeney, very well done to him. And in second place was Oisin Marr. Another man who's had a great weekend on Super Twins and in the Principal Insurance Supersport class. Great weekend for Oisin. It's been a long time coming. And our winner once again for Sidecar Racing, it's Kevin Keys. Thanks very much to Ali from Principal. Mick, that was a good way to finish off the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's all right. It's nice to come back and stand on the podium. You know, it's been a while now.
Yeah. And so, have you enjoyed your weekend?
Yeah, 100%. I always love coming down to do these events. So we're just tied up now with a couple of rows. We're going to come back down and do the next year now and bring the Superbike with us for the next one. And
yeah, but the competition's going to be tough, isn't it?
I fucking know. I just hope he's not like that next weekend.
Oh, when he goes to your area.
Yeah, when he comes to us. But now, look, he's a fantastic rider. He's up and coming, you know what I mean? He's the next best thing of coming up through the riders, and he's young and he's a many years in front of him if he wants to go the road racing route. And if he does, he'll make a big future for himself.
Okay, well, they're nice words about Kevin Keys there from Mick Sweeney. Well done to Mick. Oisin still has the big smile on his face. This is just fantastic, actually finishing races, and not only finishing them, but on the podium.
You're full of digs this weekend, Fergus. No, but you're right, to be honest. I usually try winning or bin it, but I'm keeping the head a bit better, and you actually leave the weekend with a bit more confidence if you take your time. So, look, I couldn't ask for any better here, learning off Kevin. Obviously, he's top man, like, and he's thanks to him as well. He's helped me my whole career coming up, and also Mick there had good praises for me, so I couldn't be standing beside two better lads. So it's an honour really to be up in the podium with these two lads, and I wish them the best in the TT and all the road races and everything that they've coming for them as well.
Very good. Well done, Oisin. Fair play. Some nice words from Oisin there as well. Kevin, I think that's the kind of weekend you were hoping for, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to finish off with a win there. So yeah, again, look, just credit to the boys, Sidecar racing, and then I hear Michael trying to lick me arse there because he knows I'm coming to Cookstown next weekend, but no, all credit to the boys, you know, they're riding savage, and Oisin, you know, I've probably shown him a little bit too much, so it's time to start opening up the gap a little bit, but no, fair play to everyone, yourself, Fergus, the whole organiser of the event has been brilliant, and all the spectators for coming out. It was great to see so much support to the championship, and well done to everyone, and again, like Oisin said, best of luck to everyone for the rest of the season, and with Mikko, you know, people know I'm going to the roads this year, and Mikko's been my right-hand man there, you know, he's guided me along the way, same with Walterstown, and hopefully he shows me enough to know how to beat him.
Well done to Kevin, well done to our top three in Supersport, in Principal Insurance Supersport. Thanks to Ali for giving out the brief. Well done, Mick, well done Oisin, and well done, Kevin. And we're going to hand over now for the sidecar race to Andy and James.
Thanks very much, Fergus, and well done all of our Super Sport riders, Pro and Cup, who gave us such entertainment over the weekend. We'll be looking forward to seeing you guys back here in June for rounds 4, 5 and 6 of the Principal Insurance Masters Superbike Series. So now we turn our attention to the final sidecar outing of the weekend, race number 3 on your program, which will be an 8-lap race, as we watch the final few come round Southside Motor Factors on their sighting lap, and then we'll find our grid positions for this last 8-lap race. So we're expecting another ding-dong battle between Mark Codd and Darrell O'Donovan, number 71, and number 18, Mark Codd. And the passengers, of course, Mark Gash and Eamon Holland. Best of friends, out of the chair, but as soon as the lights goes out, it's a completely different matter. So, under lights, orders, and off they go. Just watching Fergus Woodlock get away. Having issues with tyre selection because, of course, we'd forgotten that Avon don't make sidecar tyres anymore, so that's making them not so much harder to get, but the turnaround time to order and pick them up and get them fitted is getting to be a problem. So Fergus having to struggle with different diameters on the drive wheel, which was causing them to spin up, which we thought was a gear selection issue, but in terms it was just tyres that are past it and no choice on use. That when he's putting the gas on the straights, bike was simply just spinning up in every gear, making it sound like the bike was bouncing off the limiter and refusing to shift. So we'll take a look again. So normal service has resumed with Darrell O'Donovan and Mark Codd. Darren O'Dwyer, sorry, my mistake. Had the legs, got a lunge up the inside of Southside Motor Factors. It worked, but he was dragged down the straight. So he's repeated the attack on the inside gap that was left by Mark Codd and Eamon Mulholland, and he has the advantage as they head out towards turn 3 for their first flying lap with Mark Gash and Eamon Mulholland in the chair of both outfits. Side by side as they come into turn 4. Might see the chair wheel lift, but still ever so slightly. Probably will see it lift towards the latter half of the race as the pace hots up. But in the opening stages, it's still Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Gash who lead, just the slimmest of margins from Mark Codd and Eamon Mulholland. And that Cosmic Racing LCR starting to spit flame on the overrun. And again, it seems to have, I don't know what engine is in the Cosmic LCR of Mark Codd, but it seems to have just a little bit more poke than Darren O'Dwyer's Baker Suzuki. Maybe it's lighter chassis, not quite sure. Against the LCR would probably end up be lighter than the tubular frame Baker F1, both F1 bikes, but the LCR significantly lighter. So maybe that's the difference between the two bikes down the main straight.
You've lost me, Andy. Too much technicality there for me entirely. Only snagging. Yeah, well, we have the. You see, these sidecars, they are really unique in so many ways, Andy, because as we know at the Isle of Man, they do race sidecars, but it's all Formula 2 machines, 600cc machines, and the big machines are becoming fewer and further between. They still race them in places in Europe, but like we have really, I suppose we've lost touch in a lot of ways with, you know, what happens in sidecar racing. Go back to the glory days of sidecar racing. Remember Jock Taylor, the Scot, and the machines they had. Do you remember this big, they used to call it the Worm, the big LCR unit. They used to call it the Worm
Monster
because
bears.
It wouldn't go in a straight line. It was just incredible. Like, and then after, when things got too hairy, they banned them in the Isle of Man and reduced the capacity to Formula 2 600 machines.
Yeah, so, which is the spec that the Racing B is B now as well, which means that the options to buy for the Irish market are becoming less and less as well, because the long bikes simply aren't available in a package of an LCR with an R1 motor or a Baker with a Suzuki motor. So I think we'll probably see the demise of the long bike over the next couple of series, maybe.
It could well happen, Andy, and as you say, if they're not available, you know, and then parts are becoming like hen's teeth. You can't just find them.
I mean, Mick Donovan in Limerick has put together some fantastic F2 chassis with the 675 Triumph motor, but now that the 765 Triumph motor is an option, you know, you're just mixing up the packages again, and which is all very well if you're Mick Donovan, but when you're here on your own trying to figure out the electronics of a triple Triumph in a tubular chassis bike, you know, your options can be quite limited. So it's still Mark Codd that leads this race from Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Cash. The Baker Suzuki versus the Cosmic Racing LCR. Just the slimmest of margins with 5 of 8 laps completed. Yeah, so Darren O'Dwyer hasn't been able to incise his bike to gain the advantage for the straights in the last couple of laps. So you might see Mark Codd and Eamon Mulholland just scrape out enough of a margin that will mean that their last 2 laps with 3 to go will probably give them a healthy enough gap for them to manage for the remainder of this race, last race of the weekend. So number 18, Mark and Eamon lead. Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Gash, number 71. We should also the falling off our radar. Sorry about that. In third position is Fergus Woodlock and James Ging. Fergus has done well to steer that bike around again with that tyre issue that he's had. He was hoping to see Eamon Medler for the weekend, but Eamon is just a little off colour at the moment. So a big shout out to Eamon. Hope you're feeling better, Eamon, and tuned into us. We'll hopefully catch up with you at the next round, or maybe catch up during the week just to see how you're keeping. But in the meantime, we wish you all the best and hope you're feeling better very soon. Sponsor, of course, of that Medler Racing chassis of Fergus Woodlock and James Ging. So, turning our attention back to the remaining 2 laps of this race. It is still in the lead, Mark Codd and Eamon Mulholland, who just dropped into the 59s, who lead Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Gash with still 2 laps left to go.
There is Fergie Woodlock across the line with James Ging in the chair. Sam Wright and Conor McCarthy across the line in 4th place. Then it's Ryan Deneen with his maiden podium at Mondello Park earlier today. Yeah, lap 7 of 8. So last lap flag is out now for Mark Codd and Eamon Mulholland. Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Gash. So, you know, we've seen what's likely to happen for the rest of the season here in the sidecars, Andy. And as we already said, no mention of the Lynches this weekend. And I believe Derek Lynch is now living in the Isle of Man, I was told at lunchtime. Derek went to the Isle of Man to do the Southern 100 races, and he entered at the TT as well, and he forgot to come back. So and Dylan has no engine in the bike at the moment, so you never know what Dylan can always pop up at any time during the year and just stick the old cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak. You'd never know, but certainly we see who the fast men are this weekend here, Andy.
Yeah, excellent. I think that Dylan still has a bike, so as far as I understand, he's taking a year out, and we may see him back next year. He may get the Groff for it again. But there is the checkered flag out, and that is a win for Mark Codd and Eamon Mulholland on the Cosmic Racing LCR, ahead of Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Gash, who come home in 2nd place on the Baker Suzuki. In 3rd position then, just waiting on Fergus Woodlock to make an appearance, and we can see him climb the rise into Southside Motor Factors for the last time. And always good to see Fergus finish a race with a passenger.
Wendy,
of course, James Ging will be quite happy to be part of that outfit as well.
I'm sure he will. He'll be more than delighted to come home in the chair, as they say. And next finisher should be, let's see, it's changed here a bit, I think. No, it is. In fact, Sam Wright is going to hang on. There is Sam Wright across the line now. And in fact, it was Eugene Kettle. And Eugene Kettle takes that.
Eamon McRaymond in 4th position. Well done,
yes, it
Eugene.
was.
Just had a quick chat at lunchtime. Good to see that bike.
And Ryan Deneen finishes 5th. Ryan Deneen finishing in 5th place there in the sidecar race. Well done, Ryan. A good weekend. He'll be happy with that. Going home with a podium to his credit. Ryan and Harry McAleese back to County Antrim with their Jacobs Kawasaki under the watchful eye of a few a very seasoned sidecar man in his day, Charlie O'Neill. Quite an established solo rider in his day as well, Charlie. But good to see you over the weekend, Charlie. Good to see the lads from the north, and we'll see you all again hopefully next time out here in Mondello in I think it's the 18th of May. We're back, Andy, next time. But we have quite a bit of racing to get through first. There's the result up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Codd, Eamon Mulholland take the win by 2.7 seconds from Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Gash. Fergie Woodlock and James Ging in 3rd place. And Eugene Kettle and Ian McRaymond there in 4th place. 5th place, Ryan Deneen and Harry McAleese. Sam Wright, the Cork combination of Sam Wright and Conor McCarthy take that 6th place in this sidecar race.
And we can see the final sidecar of Fergus Woodlock and James Ging being brought into 3rd position in Park Fermat. and all fairings remarkably intact and the same colour as they started out this weekend. And with that, we will hand you over to Fergus Brennan, who will take care of the presentations and podiums for our third and final sidecar outfit race of the afternoon and the weekend. So thanks for the entertainment, sidecar boys and girls. We will see you in 1 month's time at rounds 4, 5 and 6 of the Principal Insurance Masters Championship. So hand you over to Fergus, and the presentations for the sidecar race for the drivers and passengers will take place. We'll be back shortly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final sidecar podium of the weekend, and we're going to call up first our third place finishers. That's Fergus Woodlock and James Ging, please. So James is on his way up. Fergie can't hear us, so he's gone off somewhere else. So we'll call up second place while we're waiting. So in second place, Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Gash. All very slow getting up here today. So the first two are up, presented with the trophies in a second when we get everybody up. So Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Gash. And then our winners, Mark Codd and Eamon Mulholland. So we'll just get across and present them with their trophies, and then we'll have a quick word with them. Well done, Fergus. Well done. Well done. Thank you, Fergus. Well done. Thank you. Well done, Eamon. Well done, Mark. Right, we'll head over here then. We talk to my namesake, Fergus. How are you, Fergus?
Fergus, hey,
how are you, Fergus?
Echo.
Back on the podium a long time since, I think, since you were on the podium.
Yeah, because you never done the podium on Saturday.
Is that what it is? So you've been third on a Saturday, but never on a Sunday?
Yeah. Bad, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's terrible.
But I'm sure. Made that the week going, after all the heartache.
Yeah, you have had a few years now of trouble, haven't you?
Heartache. Yeah. Sponsorship. Anybody wants to put the name on the bike?
James, how do you feel about that?
No, I'm just delighted Fergus getting the results. As you said, he's had a couple of bad years with breakdowns and engines and stuff, so good to get a result.
So you're just hopping in for the one, or are you in for the season?
We take it event by event.
Okay, well done. And then we move on over here. We've got loads of people. So, Mark, Darren just pointed at you as usual, so you're doing the talking. How was that one?
Yeah, hard work. It was great crack, great racing. One thing, Fergie's managed to get 2 podiums this weekend, which is 2 more finishes than he's achieved in the last 2 years with mechanical, so great to see him on the podium. We were running out of tyres. We stuck an Interon for that race. That's all we had left. I think we kept the lads on us for 4 or 5 or 6 laps. We worked hard. Driver did a blinder, but Sparky and Eamon were, once they were untouchable. We'll get you, but great race.
Okay, well done. I'm going to make Mark. So now, Mark, you're going to talk.
My hands are already full.
It doesn't matter. You don't need your hands for this. I'm going to hand the mic up to you. So, well done. Second win of the day.
Yeah, happy enough. Look, we came here this weekend not expecting a whole lot, and it's a whole new setup, so we're happy.
Yeah, you've moved back up to the longer bike.
Yeah, we wrecked the long bike last year in Sunflower, so it was a long winter getting that right, but so yeah, no, we're happy.
Okay, well, very well done to our top 6 in the last sidecar of the race of the weekend. Give them a round of applause there, ladies and gentlemen. Hard work out there in these conditions, particularly for the passengers. So well done to them all. Thank you all very much. Cheers,
Great stuff, thanks for that, Fergus. And the pit lane is now open, so if we can get all our Super Twin and Production Twin riders out. Get your sight laps in so we can get our grid formations and get going for this 12-lap final Megabikes Twins race of the afternoon. So Super Twin, Production Twin riders, pit lane is open. Now just taking a look at the numbers that are out there at the minute. So we see Dara Crean took a moment off, took the Super Sport race off so that he could hand his bike to Emmett O'Grady. So let's see if Dara is going to reappear. Number 40, the R6 Kawasaki that he changed from the RS660 that he previously had. Be very hard to miss him. The Technicolor number 40 bike. You see Oisin Maher on the VTL tag RS660 heading out for his siding lap. '52 Keelan Smith from Kildare, also on an RS660. Check is Kevin Baker on show. Number 99, Sean Brawley. Very impressive weekend for Sean Brawley. Well done. You should be very proud of yourself going home to Derry with the results you packed in. Number 99 again, another a pretty RS660. You have to start checking out the specs on some of these machines to see what additional performance parts they have, because they were practically non-existent last season, season before. And Dara Crean has emerged, and he is in the middle of row 1, number 40. Looks like a brand new slick front and rear on that ER6 Kawasaki. Will Roberts on row 2 in 6th position. A turquoise number 15 bike. Will from Cork. Machine is appearing, and here comes Kevin Baker rolling up to his P3 on row 1. All bikes present and correct, so just give them a moment to get out and complete their 2 warm-up laps, and then 12 laps in this Megabikes sponsored race comprising of Super Twins and Production Twins. Remember, not that far back, you had production riders like Ewan McClinchy and Aaron Clifford, and they were dishing it out to the riders in the Super Twins, and it was just fascinating to watch. And then if the weather changed, if it was even wet, that narrowed the gap and the margin that the extra power that the Super Twins had compared to the production twins. It just made a more level playing field that the production riders were able to capitalise on. No fear of that happening this weekend, thankfully. It's all been blue skies. So we'll just let the riders complete their final warm-up lap ahead of this 12-lap race before we give you the grid positions for this final Megabikes Super Twins and Production Twin race of the weekend.
Yeah, so everything slows right down now, and they're all taking their time. Nobody wants to be back to that grid too quickly. Unlike Adam McLean in the earlier Supersport races, he didn't mind. First back each time around, he didn't mind. And you always used to see this with, especially when Michael Dunlop would race here. Michael would always wait and wait and wait back. Didn't just, I think it's mind games really, you know. And Michael would always sit back and try and come to the grid at the last minute, as he does at the TT start line. Doesn't like the attention, doesn't like the cameras, and doesn't like all of that. It's come around a little bit in the last few years, but that's another day's discussion as we watch the riders line up here. Oisin Maher in that pole position from Derek Crean, and of course on the outside for Kevin Baker.
Great to see the amount of sponsorship on these bikes. It just shows you how the Super Twin class has changed. I mean, it used to be a support class, whereas now it's part of the regular program. So all eyes on the lights. Great start from Derek Green there. He absolutely nailed that clutch, and he should have the advantage into turn 1, which he does. Kevin Baker not close enough to have a look, who takes P2, and that looks like Oisin Maher, who's been relegated to 3rd position. Oisin, he didn't get a bad start. It was just Derek Green got a better one. But let's see what happens as they power out towards turn 3. Again, watching this corner, the way they're double apex and picking the bike up and turning it again, because these Super Twins are starting to handle really well, but everybody seems to have that same method of taking that turn. Probably take a walk, should take a walk sometime and walk it, take a look at it. So out of turn 4 for the first time, and on the brakes into Southside Motor Factors, it is Derek Green, and Oisin Maher is having a look up the inside of Kevin Baker, and he does make it stick. Can he make it, hold it down the line? Let's see if Kevin Baker can fight back. No, it looks as though Oisin has retaken that 2nd position as we start our first flying lap 2.
Yeah, 7/10 of a second the lead for Derek Green, the Kerry rider, over Oisin Maher, and at the end of lap 1, Kevin Baker a further 9/10 in arrears. And yeah, so there's Kevin Baker, Sean Brawley in 4th place, 5th place William Roberts, also Super Twin mounted, 1st of the production twins, number 711, the Kalady man, that's Jeff Quilter running in a strong 6th place. Then production Super Twin rider Keelan Smith, production rider Mark McGowan in 8th place and 2nd in the production class. Oh, and it's all hotting up here as young Oisin Maher has made his move and is up ahead now of Derek Green. Made the move at turn 6 and makes it stick. Derek Green relegated back to 2nd place. Kevin Baker still running there in 3rd. Sean Brawley 4th. Will Roberts in 5th. And Keelan Smith and Jeff Quilter with 2 laps completed of the 12.
Yeah, it was a great great move by Oisin. Almost a carbon copy of what he did on lap 1 to take the position from Kevin Baker. And yeah, it was a great move. And there was no reply from Derek Green. There was nothing he could do to compete on the entry into turn 1. He just had to suck it up. So he's going to have to plan his next move if he wants to retake that lead. But for the moment, Oisin Maher seems to be extending that gap ever so slightly already, and he's going to have that then probably a second of a lead, as we're looking at Sean Brawley maybe come into contention for a podium place.
Kevin Baker makes the move on Derek Green, so Kevin Baker up the inside of Derek Green at Southside Motor Factors turn 6 as they disappear from my view momentarily under the BMW bridge. Around patch 1 they go, and it is certainly Kevin Baker now able to stretch the throttle more fully than he'd like to, having got the better of Derek Green.
I'm just going to pop it out there. I mean, maybe Derek Green is slowing down because the other guys are still populating in the 56 and 57s. Dara has dropped 2 positions and he's doing 58, so I'm going to watch that lap time just to see has he lost the edge slightly on the other riders. And we'll also know if we look at the lap times of Sean Brawley, who has a potential to take a move, and he's gone under Derek Green into Southside Motor Factors. So Derek Green has gone from pole position to completely off the podium.
Yeah, he's definitely going backwards, Andy. No two ways about it. Derek Green, yeah, 58 seconds again, so well off the race pace of 57.893, the fastest lap set by Oisin Maher. So a full 2 seconds in arrears.
He's got his hand up. He's got a problem, Derek Green. He's going to come in the pack gate, so we can expect we can expect something has gone amiss on
That's
that bike.
unfortunate for him. So Derek Green does retire into the back of the paddock as we get back with our race leaders around turn 3. And you can see the sunshine is wow, what an absolutely wonderful afternoon. Weather-wise here, 16 degrees, 17 degrees it is now in Dunor, the local townland that is Mondello Park. Dunor village, which is just around the corner here, down that little laneway towards the canal. Dunor, as it's known.
Yeah, I just watched Dara come back in there. I couldn't see anything obvious. There's no fairings hanging off. We don't see any sign of any liquids. Don't see any sign of smoke. So I don't know. We'll have to speculate maybe later on that it was just mechanical or something electronic. But going back to the race, Oisin Maher has made good of his getaway and has a 2-second lead up from Kevin Baker. And Sean Brawley, well deserved in third position. He's really rode competitively all weekend in all his entries, and he'd be very satisfied heading for Derry tonight with those results. So still 7 laps remaining in this 12-lap race, and it's all going Oisin Maher's way, with Kevin Baker in second place, 5 laps under his belt. The gap now was 2 seconds, now 2.7 seconds, so still the fastest lap for Oisin Maher on that VTL tag race in Aprilia RS660. So maybe if that pace continues, it's probably prudent to send him out of pit board to say he's in control. There's no need to push on. There's no need to do anything stupid, make a silly mistake that could cost him the race when he's already got a commanding lead of 2.7 seconds from Kevin and Brawley. So we'll keep an eye for pit boards the next time they come round, which will be any moment now as they exit the S's. And he's like a bullet under some back markers there, just slides through them like cheese as we watch him straight pick it up, get on the gas again, and even with a little bit of traffic, this lap time should still be a 56, and that brings his gap to 3.8 seconds. So he's having a fine battle out there on his own. Kevin Baker is next up, but he's doing 57, so a second adrift of Oisin Maher's time.
Yeah, and already well past half race distance with just about 4.5 laps to go for Oisin Maher, the young man from Cashel, who's finding himself having a busy but beneficial weekend, and very, very happy earlier on that Supersport podium. And don't forget, he already broke the lap record here earlier this morning in the twin class.
And happy to say that's the only thing he's broken this weekend, because sometimes you can get carried away, get a bit of red mist and take a little slide up the road, but none of those incidents thankfully this weekend for Oisin, so it's all good.
There he is across the line again, Andy, the new lap record for the Super Twin class, the Megabikes sponsored Superbike class, 56.204 for Oisin Maher, posted earlier today in the earlier Super Twin race. On today, the 21st of April 2024, new lap record for Oisin Maher in this class, and he's circulating once again in the 56-second bracket, running a full at least half a second quicker than anyone else in this class. So he really has laid down a marker for the rest of the season in this twin class, Andy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't know who else is going to turn up, but he's already banked the best part of 75 points this weekend. So if somebody else does join the fray, or we potentially lose some of the other riders for reliability or other competitions or championships, he's already got a 75-point advantage over that. So it'll be very interesting to see who turns up for round 4, 5 and 6 next month. Good footage then of Kevin Baker and Sean Brawley having a lonely bit of a dice for second and third place. Wouldn't write Sean Brawley off just yet. You're looking at the Aprilia power of Sean against the Kawasaki power. I'm not quite sure if Kevin is still on the 650cc or whether he's gone 700. 700 is not really of any benefit to him in the ER chassis, because you can only race 700 twins if they come out of the factory as a 700. So it's no good at TT. It's no good at any of the other road races. So he's probably happy with the 650 at the moment. I find it unusual also that Derek Green has jumped from the ER, to the ER off the Aprilia, but maybe we can catch up more about that later on. But in the meantime, Oisin is still having a good dice on his own and cutting through some back markers as well. I don't know, the back markers seems to have been more prevalent this weekend than I've previously been aware of. It might generate a discussion within, some of the short circuit committees to see, how this can potentially be avoided in the future. If you had poor weather and visibility and stuff like that, it could cause a concern going forward, because we still have 2 laps to go here, and back markers have been part of this race for about 2 laps now already.
Yeah, well, the pace is hot, Andy, and there is a formula for working out these qualifying times, the length of the track versus the lap time and the amount of machines that are lower on the grid. So there is a formula, and it seems to work. And I suppose, we do have the lack of the blue flag for the Masters Series, which I see a yellow flag now at turn 1. Not sure what's happened up there. Maybe one of our lesser machines is down on the exit of turn 1, but certainly on this Oisin Maher is on his last lap, and we're watching out for him as he exits. He's coming down. I think that's him into the main arena. Certainly is. That's our race leader now coming through the S's and up into Southside Motor Factors for the final time. Our race leader, Oisin Maher, has a little look over his shoulder. There ain't nothing behind you there, Oisin, I can tell you for sure. And he's just going to enjoy every minute of this and milk it. Has another little look, he knows it, and he's up and acknowledging his pit crew. Well done, Oisin Maher, great weekend for him. Second place, a battle to the line. Kevin Baker takes it. Oh, Kevin Baker just held on from Sean Brawley. Sean Brawley, I'm not sure what he was doing there, but Kevin Baker got the head down and just nipped that second place, held on to it from Sean Brawley, and really a long way back to
the
next
500ths of a second. There was very little between Sean Brawley and Kevin Baker. If you had your transponder in another two inches in front of you, you might have claimed that one. But
okay,
that's something we should keep an eye on for the next outing, is Kevin Baker and Sean Brawley.
Keelan Smith finishes there in 4th place, and Will Roberts gets up into 5th ahead of Jeff Quilter, who takes another win in the production class. Jeff Quilter, 2nd win of the weekend for Jeff Quilter in the production class. I know certainly Clint Quilter will be down there, will be absolutely delighted, and all the crew from Killady, down just near between Cork City and Bandon, Killady, down there, Crossbarry area of Cork. So well done, Jeff. He takes the win in the production class from Mark McGoran and then Dwayne McCoy, number 941 newcomer. So well done to all, as we see some of our paddock already eagerly getting ready to leave the arena. But there won't be any gates open now. We'll be going ahead shortly with the Supersport and Superbike B race. But at the moment we're preparing for the podium presentations in the Super Twin and Production Twin class. Oisin Maher on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, takes the win from Kevin Baker and Sean Brawley. Keelan Smith was next. Production Twin winner Jeff Quilter there in 6th place. Runner up in the Production Twins, Mark McGowan, and then also Production Twin Dwayne McCoy. So well done to all. We'll be handing over to Fergus Brennan very shortly for the presentations for the Megabikes Super Twin and Production Twin class.
Well, that's the final Megabikes Ballymount Super Twin and Production Twin race of the weekend finished. So we're going to get straight on with it and get up the third place in the Production Twin class, which is Dwayne McCoy. Dwayne is on his way up. Well done. Great to see a man with a newcomer's bib on him climbing up onto the podium. We let them all get up and then we present them with their trophies. Second place, Mark McGarren. And our winner, Jeff Quilter. Across, Mark. Well done. Well done, Dwayne. Well done, Mark.
How are you? Thank you.
Oh, good. And Jeff.
Well done, thank you.
So
Well,
we just
Dwayne,
hand you over to Fergus
podium
for the podium.
to finish off the weekend. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking first time.
No, it's not. It's true.
First time out here in Mondello. So when you started track days last year, so we're going well, yeah.
Well, that's good progress. I did mention the novice bib. If anybody's watching on the live stream, that's what those bibs mean. So anybody wearing an orange bib who can get on the podium, that's good going. So well done.
So man, cheers, lads.
Well done. And this man here is a little bit more experienced, but hasn't had a good run of it in the last few years. So great to see you. Another podium.
Yeah, happy out. Just trying to catch this fella here. He's a bleeding flyer, so go again, and just happy out the way it turned out. So, and the bike's running good, so happy out. And just good to get a result in the end, you know, the third way. So happy out. Good weekend.
And move on to the next one.
Move on to the next one. Exactly. Thank you very much.
Well done, Jeff. Come down here. It's a big step up for you, up into the Production Twin, and now you're on the top step of the podium.
Yeah, it's nice to be up there after a tough few years. So it's nice to be up here again. So.
Yeah, it's another man here who's had a few years with bad mechanical problems and stuff like that, haven't you? But yet it's all going well now.
Yeah, a good bike under me now, so hopefully all goes well for the rest of the season.
Okay, well done, Jeff. Well done to our top three in Production Twins. Dwayne, Mark and Jeff.
Thank you.
And then we move on to the Megabikes Ballymount Super Twins class, and in third place in Super Twins, I've forgotten who's third place in Super Twins. Oh, Sean Brawley. Sean Brawley, third place in Super Twins yet again. Well done to Sean. Great first weekend at the Masters for Sean. Fantastic. Present his trophy when he's up there. In second place, Kevin Baker. And our winner, and probably my vote for the happiest man in the paddock this weekend, it's Oisin Marr. Where's my ice cream? Where's my ice cream, Oisin? Well done, Sean. There you go. That's a good weekend for you that you weren't expecting.
I know, definitely happy enough. Like, we April's good. She's just a wee bit down in power, like, but she's good, like. Do you know what I mean? She's handling well and all.
And you have another podium to come now, we hear, after the Superbike race.
I hear there's a bit of madness in the Superbike, guys, so happy days shoots me to the ground, like.
Well, we'll definitely see you back on the podium later for the first Superbike race. Kevin, that Super Twin seems to be going very well for you.
The Twin is flying it now, yeah. No, it's flying, found more power than I ever had, and it's all going well. So.
And just the Aprilia here with Oisin on, it's a little bit hard to keep up with.
He'd be hard to keep up on anything, so. Yeah, no, it's very good though.
Okay, well, it's great to have you back here at the Masters.
Sound for us, thanks.
All right. Oisin, I'm running out of things to say to you, so I'll just say, tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was really good. I got a bit of a bad jump, but fair play to everyone. They kept me honest there, and yeah, I was just really happy with the little Aprilia, to be honest. Great bike and great weekend, really. Thanks to Kev Corbally for the ice cream. And my team here, the CV, Alex, Heather, Sive, my girlfriend, her mother came to watch me. Everyone that came to watch my dad here, of course. He's my biggest hand, my dad, to be honest. I've been missing out this weekend. I have too many names, but most importantly, my dad over anyone, really. So, yeah, I'm delighted now. And it's good to give him what I feel he deserves to see as well. So, seeing a proud look in his face makes it worthwhile, really.
Oh, well done, Oisin. Well done on all your weekend results. Great result there, top three. Sean, Kevin and Oisin up on the top three steps of the podium there in the Megabikes Ballymount Super Twins or Production Twins class, and we'll hand back over for the final B race of the weekend.
So our Superbike and Supersport B riders are taking their positions ahead of their warm-up lap for this, their third and final outing of the afternoon. Just checking out Jack Corey sneaking off home early. Yeah, see you next weekend, Jack. Bring sweets. Don't want to see any of them yellow pack stuff. I want Scott's Clan and I want them in date. I don't want to see any of that out of date stuff. That's a bit last year. Safe home, Jack. Catch up during the week. So this will be a 12-lap race for the B race for the final time this weekend. Riders coastally, gingerly around turn 4, the last of their few metres of the warm-up session. Get some extra heat in the brakes. Get some extra heat in the tyres. Our grids for this race is John Byrne from Bronclody is on pole position. Number 20, the black Honda Fireblade. Alongside John Byrne is number 76, Robbie McGowan. ZX10R. And just beside Robbie McGowan, Graham Smallwoods. From Derry, also on the ZX10R. Wayne Tobin heads up the second row. And Mark Carey, number 64. Very tidy looking ZX10R. Sorry, 636. And then number 79, Gary Green completes second row. Struggles to get away. He was lucky there he didn't get collected by some of the riders sweeping through the field, but got the bike off the line. But that's going to cost him some serious positions. Robbie McGowan has made good his escape. He cuts a lonely figure the first time into turn 3. Dips in again to that second apex and out. I think Wayne Tobin has got a really good start and is in second place. We'll take a look a moment as they come in from turn 4. No, Wayne Tobin is in third position as we await their arrival back into the paddock. So Robbie McGowan leads. Gary Crean has jumped into second place. Wayne Tobin third. Adam Carey, number 64, in fourth position. The first of the Supersport Cup riders. Exit turn 2, that tricky camber. Again, not catching too many out today, thankfully. Just look at number 83, jump start penalty for Aidan Heary, who started on the 3rd row. So he's going to have 20 seconds added on to his race time. Not sure where that's going to leave him. Currently running in. Running 20th in position, so I'm not quite sure if that time penalty is applied just yet. But it will be served to his complete lap time, his race distance time. So riders completing lap 2 of this 12 lapper, and it is still Robbie McGarren out in front, ahead of Wayne Tobin. Sorry, not Gary Green. Looks like it's in 2nd position now, and Wayne Tobin in 3rd. As we await the next riders to come in. Again, I'm loving this footage of turn 3. It's such a it doesn't look so tricky, but it is. It's a very technical corner, and the guys are making it look so easy.
A couple of start line penalties there, Andy. I don't know if you picked it up or not. 83 and 20, both the 20-second penalties. Number 83, that's Adrian Heaney and John Byrne, earlier winner today in the Superbike B class, both picking up 20-second penalties for jump starts, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, I missed that. I was watching something else. Didn't see them getting off the line, so a bit uncharacteristic for John. But he won't be aware of that just yet, and I don't think he has a pit board, so he is currently running in 5th position, so hopefully somebody can let him know that he's a little bit further down the grid than he would have anticipated. But look, maybe he knows himself there was a jump start there on his behalf, and he'd
Johnny doesn't care. He has his win for the weekend under his belt. So yeah, he'd be happy enough.
Noel Carroll's still circulating. I think that's a 750 GSX. Sorry, has in 9th. He's made up 1 place. Started 10th. So he's going to be happy coming from row 6. 750 there. I think it's John Cahill, number 11, also runs the 750 GSX. So again, that bike hasn't been in production for over 10 years. So allowing for the fact that it's only a 750cc, 10-year-old suspension, 10-year-old brakes, no electronics package, these aren't bad results for those 750cc bikes. As we watch John Cahill just past the tower there to complete his 4th lap.
Yeah, some tight action there around turn 3, Andy, as they make their way back down into the main arena. And one of the newcomers on track, you see the
that's
yellow
Wayne Tobin, 952.
Wayne, yeah, and Wayne mixing it in there with Gary Green, number 79.
John Byrne is going to try and look to pick up another position, so he'll be running, I think, 3rd on the road, but you add that 20-second penalty to it, it's going to push him further back.
And interestingly, Johnny Byrne, the fastest man on track, 59.710 for John Byrne, despite that 20-second penalty that not sure if he's aware of it or not.
Yeah, probably not. Mightn't have the luxury of a pit board, but yeah, he's the only man circulating in the sub-minutes at the moment.
And unusually that John Byrne, he hasn't been updated on the screen, unless has he made up that time already, Andy? Is it possible?
I don't think he's going to pull 20 seconds because he was dicing with Wayne Tobin and Robbie McGarren in the previous race. The lap times were very similar. They're still similar now, so I can't see that he's with 4 or 5 laps.
My question is, has he made up that 20 seconds on track already? Because he's showing up as 3rd now. Yeah, and 3rd in class. So I think even with the 20-second penalty, he's still running 3rd in the class. Superbike Cup, Robbie McGarren leads it from Gary Green, and then John Byrne, Wayne Tobin, Also Superbike Cup mounted Supersport rider is Jason Whelan, number 280, and he's followed by Albert Pender, about 1 second in arrears of him. Trevor Foran then Superbike Cup class on the R1 Yamaha. Carrigaline rider Trevor Foran in 8th position. 9th is Martin Burnett, number 72. And in 10th place, Noel Carroll from County Laois. Noel still out with us, and Noel is on the Supersport, out in the Supersport Cup class this year.
Yeah, I thought Noel was on the 750 Suzuki, so should he potentially be in the Supersport?
Well, he did used to be, Andy, but that was 2 years ago, so nobody knows what happened in that year off.
Fair enough.
You know, did Noel campaign a few of the roads? I'm not too sure. I know I wasn't up north for any of the road racing last season, so I'm not sure what went on. I'm well aware of road race champions and what have you, but not sure what Noel got up to. Did he go up north racing on a 600? Not too sure.
So still Robbie McGowan has a 4-second lead from Gary Green, R1 on the R1, number 79. Oh, I think that is 79 R1 perhaps. John Byrne in 3rd on the road, but again waiting that time in jump start penalty, which I think is a 20-second penalty. Could be wrong.
So just 4 laps remaining in this, the B race for the Superbikes and Supersports. Robbie McGowan continues to lead it. 3.6 seconds is his lead.
It's 83.
It's not John Byrne at all, so it's 83, 20 seconds. Yeah, okay, so we've been reading that wrong. Thanks again, Paul, for correcting us. So number 83, Adrian Heaney, was indeed applied a 20-second penalty for his start. It was just appearing as 83 plus 20, so we assumed there were 2 jump starts. So John Byrne is in 2nd place on the track, 2nd place on the road, and 2nd place.
Apologies to John Byrne and crew, but yeah, just the way it's come up on my screen here. Yeah, but yeah, that's probably my fault, Andy. Plus it does say 83 plus 20 jump start.
Well,
the time penalty is.
I think in this case it's good to be wrong.
It's good to be wrong if you're John Byrne and his crew. Often we're wrong here, Andy. Just we'll just say a little miscalculation. So apologies to John Byrne and his team. So Robbie McGowan, and nice of Paul to come up and let us know. Obviously there is somebody listening to us downstairs, Andy.
Yeah, it's just as well we haven't been derogatory to anybody except with the mics off. So if your ears are burning, it was you. Yeah, 2 laps to go then at the finish of this lap, which will see John Byrne, of course, as we said, running 2nd on the road. 3.3 seconds, probably a little bit too far back from Robbie McGowan to make any inroads to the lead that he has of 3.3 seconds. So we'll keep our eyes on Robbie McGowan for the rest of this 12-lap race with 2 to go. And of course no podiums for this B race, so we are expecting the Superbikes to be almost ready and the pit lane opens.
Number 999 across the line there, Lee Hillen, Supersport Cup rider from County Wicklow on his CBR 600 Honda. And across the line there, Colin Kerwick, also Supersport Cup rider 238. Tipperary rider on his ZX R6 Kawasaki. There is our race leader, Robbie McGowan, across the line now to start his last lap of this 12-lap race. John Byrne crosses the line safely there, 3.5 seconds in arrears. Gary Crean still there in 3rd place. Wayne Tobin, Mark Carey, and Mark Carey, I beg your pardon, Supersport Cup. Yeah, Mark Carey does lead the Supersport Cup class from Albert Pender, and then Trevor Foran in 7th place on the R1 Yamaha. But there is our race leader Robbie McGowan up out of turn 3 and down into turn 4 for the final time of asking of this 12-lap B race.
Yeah, a good field of B riders. You'd have to say, James, it's good to see that the event is so oversubscribed that we do have to facilitate a B race. And here comes Robbie McGowan out of Southside Motor Factors for the very last time this weekend, and he will pick up the win of race 3. John Call thankfully regains his 20 seconds that we removed from him by mistake. Apologies, John.
Yeah, that's it, John Byrne, and he walks away also with the fastest lap of the race, 59.710. Gary Crean takes that 3rd position. In the Supersport class, Mark Carey takes the win from Albert Pender, and in 3rd place in the Supersport class was Jason Whelan. So that concludes the B race, ladies and gentlemen. You see beautiful conditions here at Mondello Park, the flags flying, and the checkered flag flying there for the final few finishers in the B race. We're looking forward to the final race of the weekend, the Principal Insurance Masters Superbike race, and thanks to Ali Dixon. Ali called up to us here on the commentary box with a little goodie bags for the commentary team. Very much appreciated, Ali, and we look forward to seeing you next weekend out in the middle of May. So thanks again to our main sponsors for the year, Principal Insurance, and Ali Dixon and all her team down there. They've done a great job this weekend looking after everybody down there in the paddock, and signing you up for some more bike insurance, I'm sure. So they're the people to meet this year, ladies and gentlemen, the Principal Insurance crew and Ali Dixon. Thank you very much indeed. There's the finishers in the B race, just going off your screen. We're looking forward to the final Superbike race of the weekend, and we will be back very shortly with pit interviews. James Halligan will be down there having a little chat with a few of the riders for the final race of the weekend, the Principal Insurance Superbikes. Coming right up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thanks, race control. So pit lane is open. If we get Superbikes on the circuit, the pit lane is open. Superbikes to the circuit. Good to see the Superbikes being prompt and trying to keep us to our schedule. And we see the riders take their places on the dummy grid for Jim Halligan to chat to them about how the weekend has gone, how the first weekend, rounds 1, 2 and 3 of the Principal Insurance Masters has gone. As you said, you can't win the championship on the first weekend, but you can certainly do an awful lot of damage to your title hopes. So we just wait for some riders to pick up, and we will finalise the grid positions for the last race of this afternoon. And see if there are any obvious omissions. Alan Kenny just pinging the tower there as he prepares for his final outing of this afternoon. Liam Chalk, number 44. See Daniel Matheson, who's recovered quite well from his disastrous qualifying session yesterday to put himself on the second row on that BMW S1000 RR. productive weekend for Daniel after all, travelling all the way down from the north down here for the weekend. And with that, we'll hand you over to Jim Halligan.
Just down on the last Superbike race of the Principal Insurance Super Sunday here at Mondello Park. The local man Kevin Keys rocks up here on the Darracor racing machine. Kevin, a lot of new names on the bike this year.
Yeah, we've got a nice few sponsors this year and a few old ones too. So no, big thanks to Tony Moore there from Motorcycle Training who stepped on board and actually is here this weekend too. So it's been great to have him the last 2 days. Frank Smith, FJS, some new sponsors across in the Isle of Man actually, by Design Joinery, DB Coatings, Darracor of course.
Well, without these people this wouldn't be happening.
No, exactly, you know, and we've got a new addition to the team as well, IV Media, who's doing all my Facebook stuff, and to be fair, it's turned my social media from amateur to professional in a matter of a few clicks. So no, it's been great in the team as well, you know. At the end of the day, it's two brothers running a family business there. They're a credit to themselves and their family, and they're putting out some amazing bikes, and you know, it's a bit of crack down the garage. It's cool to be here, like there's some big boys here this weekend, you know, and some big back bikes, and they have two brothers with the bike on the front row, potentially looking at a triple Superbike win this weekend.
Well, hopefully, but one thing I want to ask you, you're making your TT debut this year. Excited?
Yeah, and nervous. But yeah, going to go to the Isle of Man this year. First we have Northwest 200, so yeah, it's a different route for me. I've never done that venture before, and luckily enough I've got a top class man in my corner, Michael Sweeney. He's been my right hand man since I've made that decision, and even when I made the go for in 2022 to Walterstown, he never put me a foot wrong, and I ended up winning both races that weekend. So look, to have Michael there is, to be honest, if I didn't have him I wouldn't go.
Yeah, I think that's the way to look at it, and you're just going to have a bit of fun anyway, so that's the first year is a bit of fun.
Yeah, exactly, and to be honest, results this year are completely irrelevant. Just go, have fun, come home and enjoy the crack, and like I said, I've got a good crew around me. Michael, the Darracor team, without them the crack's great, the knowledge is brilliant, so everything's in place to do it, and that's where we're going.
Well, I'll see you there, but hopefully we'll see you on the top step this afternoon anyway. Take care, alright? Back across to, actually we'll give Alan, you're always hiding there, love.
Absolutely, hiding from you.
No bother, you're going well today again.
Yeah, look, got a better start that time now than yesterday, so yeah, look, I think it's just a case of getting going and getting going with Kevin.
Yeah. Shane pushed you hard, the two of you were at it for a good while.
Yeah, no, that was good old crack. Look, it was just a pity what happened at the end, but look, that's racing.
Well done. I'm glad you're flying. Shane, come back here, don't be running away. Did you get a nice castle up in the top corner there?
Oh, I did. I built a good one up there, yeah.
You were flying?
I was very happy, yeah. I got tucked in there behind Alan and he pulled me along, and it was a nice race.
Is this a new bike or the same bike?
No, well, I had this bike last year, but there was no racing last year, so only even a wee bit up the north and stuff like that, so that's it.
There's not a lot of sponsors on it. Are you doing this all yourself?
Most of it, yeah, most of it. I have a couple of guys there that just help me out. David McCracken there, he just painted her up for me, and Powder Baker there, he just powder coat me wheels and that, but majority of it myself.
Fair play to you. I tell you what, you're putting a lot of lads to shame here.
Cheers, thank you.
Good lad, well done. Hopefully you get a podium. And we'll need to head back to the tower with Andy and James.
Thanks very much, Jim. So we are preparing for our final Superbike race of the afternoon. We don't just have the grid positions with us, but we would expect it's a repeat of almost race 2. Kevin Keys on pole, Alan Kenny second quickest in the previous race with Shane Conley in P3, Brian McCormack on the Roadhouse Macau by FHO Racing BMW M1000 alongside Daniel Matheson and Andrew Weirty completing the second row. So the grid's been cleared. We let the riders prepare for their 2 warm-up laps for the final time this weekend. This will be a 14-lap race once the 2 warm-up laps are completed. Thanks again to all our officials turned up this weekend, making it such a huge success after a 1-year lie-up. Thanks to all our medical staff, who thankfully haven't been too busy this weekend. Ray Quinn, good to catch up with you at lunchtime. Paul. Timekeepers, thanks to Paul Grogan, who's been feeding us with our correct information and feeding us with the features of this new enhanced timing.ie system that he has in place. Much appreciated, Paul. And our marshals on the banks, who instead of going home with frostbite and hypothermia, could be looking at a touch of sunburn or a farmer's tan. So again, our front row, Kevin Keyes, Alan Kenny in the middle of the front row, Shane Conley over his left shoulder, with Brian McCormick heading up row 2. Daniel Matheson is beside him in the centre of row 2. I just want to keep an eye out to see where Sean Brawley is. He's got a long journey home, but it's been well worth his while coming all the way from Derry to Mondello Park this weekend. He's gone home with some very successful and very good results for a person who's not a regular at this national circuit. He'd been quite impressed with his, he'd be very impressed and satisfied with his results on the long road back to Derry this evening. No, well done, Sean. We hope we see you for round 4, 5 and 6, which is 18th of June. Pretty much around the 3rd weekend of every month we'll have the Master Series. I see Robert Toner is on the grid here, so that's good that he's qualified for the main race. He was in the Classic Superbike on that, no, not Classic Superbike, pre-injection 1000, number 133 on the R1. We'll keep an eye for him in this race. So, all riders ready to go, eyes on the lights for the last time, just ready to get underway. Kevin Keyes gets away, Alan almost in sync. The 3 front row riders got away together, and let's watch how they get in together into turn 1 for that last time this weekend.
Yeah, it's Kevin Keyes, Andy. Kevin Keyes and
Alan Kenny and Shane Conley touched. It would be interesting to see, did they both make it out? They did.
Certainly did.
Certainly was contact there. Not much, but enough to put him off. Shane Conley dropped the position because that, and I think it's Brian McCormick who's taken the advantage from that. Now we see Brian fall off the pace again, so I don't want to be pessimistic, but how long is he going to keep running at the front? Bit of a wheelie there. You would have thought that the rider aids on that M1000 would have kept that front wheel pinned on the ground. Hasn't cost him any time, by the way.
May have some of the maids turned off or toned down, Andy, as well.
That.
You know, you just don't know what's going on in the electronics packages in these machines. Yep. And as we've already said, the BMW is quite a comprehensive package as far as electronics are concerned. There's Kevin Keyes across the line. Is he, you know, you go from 0 to hero basically in this class, because he is on for a hat-trick of wins here this weekend at Mondello Park in the Principal Insurance Superbike event. There is Alan Kenny there running in 2nd place. Now, can Brian McCormick stick with him?
Yeah, I should have taken a look to see what tyre. Maybe people have run with their tyre. We have a yellow flag. Somebody's just dropped it in the litter there. I think it was on the previous lap. It's not on the front runners. But we should have taken a look perhaps at what tyre, whether there was a tyre use for some of the riders, whether it's got fresh rubber on at this. Oh, Brian McCormick's made a pass on Alan Kenny, and he's currently up to 2nd position. So maybe he has fresh rubber he saved himself for the last outing of this afternoon.
Yeah, well, maybe he's going to get the finger out this time. He's he's had, from his standards, a very disappointing weekend so far. And so we'll see what happens here. The gap it's just 1 second, between him and Kevin Keys in the lead. So not looking too bad for Brian now on the Roadhouse Macau BMW. Alan Kenny running there in third place, as we say. Shane Connolly in fourth, fifth Andrew Worthy, Emmett O'Grady in sixth, Daniel Matheson in seventh. Leading Cup rider Ronan Waters is in eighth, followed by Shawnee Smith and Declan Madden, one of our sponsors of the event, the DM Groundworks Junior class. And so Brian McCormick seems to certainly be improving here as in this late afternoon sunshine. The gap 1.1 seconds, 54.153 for Kevin Keys, 54.304 for Brian McCormick, Alan Kennedy 54.796, Shane Connolly also in the 54 second bracket, 54.918, and Andrew Worthy going well, 54.829.
Yeah, Andrew Worthy's had a great weekend on that new machine, but clearly he's had a lot of time to test and get used to it, but even seeing to translate that to the lap times that he's done has been pretty impressive. Just keeping an eye at Kevin Keys, his last lap was a 54.1, 300ths away from the lap record, so we keep an eye on that. He has that commanding lead that he's built all weekend, but then the pit boards hopefully are going to show him that he has that lead. He doesn't need to push on, he doesn't need to take any risks. There's nothing to be gained by doing that.
Can Brian McCormick do anything about this? The gap is down to 9/10. He has plenty of time, but can he close that gap on Kevin Keys?
He's in the low 54s, so the potential is there, and he obviously has dropped the hammer in this race. We haven't seen him in the low 54s before this, but we certainly are looking at it now in consistent low 54s. So if he gets the pit board out to Kevin Keys, that Brian McCormick is just not going away, he may need to push on a little bit more and make sure that he retains that.
He's certainly in touch here, Andy. He's certainly in touch. He's closing that gap, and there's 10 laps to go, 9 after this one, so there's plenty of time. So Brian, once you dangle that carrot, it is like dangling a carrot for Brian McCormick. Let's see the gap now. Definitely less than 9/10 this time, maybe 7/10 or so. No, it's still 9/10. Still 9/10.
Brian
the fastest lap for Brian McCormick,
almost 54 flat, you might say, 200th out from the lap record. So plenty of time to push that on even a little bit further. I thought that was Robert Toner in the gravel at turn 4, and indeed it was 133, the Superbike Cup rider, but rider up okay, bike grand. He's just took a little run into the gravel, all is as it should be. And back to your race, the leader is still Kevin Keys. Brian McCormick not going away, 9/10 of a second back in second place, but the fastest lap of the race too, Brian, and maybe there's more to come.
Look, he's right with him. He's trying everything he can to close that gap, and he has closed the gap. There's no doubt about it. Let's get to the actual time now. Less than a half a second now. Brian McCormick with another. No, still stands with the fastest lap on that previous lap, 5:54.070. But Kevin Keys is responding.
Was only 700ths of a second slower than his fastest lap. So he's got great momentum. He built up Brian McCormick. Watched him into this disappointing footage into turn 3.
Well, he'd certainly like to round off the weekend with a win here at Mondello Park, and it looks as though that is exactly what he's gunning for. He has the machinery here, and he wants to prove that he's worthy of it. And certainly has closed the gap right in now. But you see the different characteristics of these bikes as well. They're better in different sections of the circuit, but Brian always a demon on the brakes, and you can see that gap closing on the approach to Southside Motor Factors turn 6, and down onto the main street they come. I would say about 3/10 of a second in it now. Just by the naked eye, it is 0.386 of a second. So McCormick definitely closing in. It's one thing closing in that gap, it's another thing getting past the absolutely flying Kevin Keys, and Kevin will be gunning for a hat-trick of wins here this weekend, Andy.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're only coming up on half race distance, so maybe Brian is sitting back having a look, see where that R1 is maybe a little bit weaker, which to me, it's not weak anywhere. It's got a great engine, it's got a great pull out of the corner. Kevin seems to have the best setup for the weekend in his bikes, and he seems to just manage that gap and getting the best out at R1. But let's see what Brian does over the next couple of laps. His laps have been consistent 54s, so he's keeping in touch with Kevin, and maybe Kevin is just watching that gap as well. So let's see what it's down to. But I think it's, as you said, 300 still, or maybe a fraction more.
Yeah, it's very, very similar, Andy. Maybe 4, back out to nearly half a second. Kevin Keys responds with the fastest lap of the race. First rider in the sub 54 second bracket, 53.974 for Kevin Keys. So he has responded, but just like 20/100ths of a second in it in the lap times there. So very, very little in it. But McCormick,
we're actually in touch and distance of Glenn Irwin's lap record, which is it's stood for a while. Yeah, corrected there. So it's the Alistair Seeley has the Superbike outright lap record, so that's not in danger at the moment. But getting back to again, some back markers starting to come into play. Not quite now, but potentially in
very, very shortly, Andy.
Lap 10.
They have traffic. They have traffic right ahead of them here, and here are the race leaders. Wow!
This is going to be a tricky part to pass them, because you've got turn 1, the left-hander, or turn 2.
Well,
so this could make it. This could cause an impact.
We have to keep an eye on it here, and I think McCormick may lose out here, and he does lose out on turn 2 with some backmarker traffic in his way, and that's unfortunate for Brian, just as he was getting within touching distance of Kevin Keys. But more traffic to come, 3 more bikes in the way here before the finish of this 14-lap race, as we watch our
Kevin
race
Keys
leaders
stuck
carve
in the
their way
middle,
through
and
them.
So is Brian McCormick. I don't think they're going to be too happy about what impact this has made, because this is a huge potential.
Well, they're through now. They're through, Andy. They really, and it is part of racing. All the top men always encounter it, and you have to take the rough with the smooth, as they say. Brian may have lost out slightly, but not very much. Not very much. Still, I would say within about a half a second of Kevin Keys, and 4 laps to make an impression on it. Oh, well, it's out to a second now, in fact, across the line. So he did lose out. A yellow flag waving there at turn 1. So another rider in peril there in the gravel trap at turn 1. But our race leaders won't take any notice of that.
It's not going to hinder them at all. The riders off the track, safe it up on the banks. Just trying to see who's cannot.
Yeah, well, look, you know what? I'm sure Brian would be a lot happier anyway, having had a couple of disappointing results this weekend by his standards, and he'd be a lot happier than knowing that he can go with the pace of Kevin Keys. A bit unfortunate to meet that traffic when they did, but I think they've got a pretty clear track in front of them for the remaining 3 laps after this, when they cross the line this time. There is McCormick peeling into Southside Motor Factors turn 6. Kevin Keys is on the way out. Let's just have a look at the gap now. Is it less than a second? It's
going
not,
to be over a second.
1.2
in a 55.5.
1.2 seconds. That's a tall order with just 3 laps to go. Yeah, a tall order for Brian McCormick, but if anyone is going to get the bit out, he can. But Kevin Keys has been responding to every move that McCormick made, and you have to hand it to the young man from Eden Derry. He's done a brilliant job this weekend on the Darracor Racing R1 Yamaha. And there are our 2 race leaders back down into the main arena. There is Kevin Keys peeling around the left-hander of turn 4 and into turn 5. McCormick he's a little bit closer this time, but with just 2 laps to go, you have to think that the challenge is all but finished here for Brian.
Yeah, you would think so as well. Lost a lot of momentum with the back marker, so he hasn't regained that. And Kevin Keys has just pushed on. I bet you Kevin is into a 54 or a high 53 with that. Yeah, a low 50, 54.1. Brian, I don't think he's going to be able to match that, so that's going to push the gap out to the 2.5 seconds, which it is, yeah. So you would think now with only 2 laps to go, all Kevin needs to do is not do anything silly or take any more risk, because I cannot see Brian eating into a 2.5 seconds lap just at the moment. So it's all looking good for Kevin for a very successful weekend on the Darracor R1.
Here's our race leader Kevin Keys, and getting past one of the back markers there, with the last lap flag being prepared for Kevin. Here he is across the line, having put Wayne Tobin a lap in arrears. Kevin Keys, 2.2 seconds the gap between him now and Brian McCormick. Brian has certainly settled for that second place. Third place across the line now comes Andrew Worthy. Oh yeah, great weekend for Kevin Keys, Andy. All he has to do is keep it up right now. I see yellow flags waving at turn 3 as well. But our race leader is through there, oblivious to the problems that have been going on up at the back section of the circuit there. And there is our race leader, Kevin Keys, back down to us. And Brian McCormick will finish in second place, some 2.5, maybe 3 seconds in arrears. But here he is, Kevin Keys. Brilliant result from him, and a great weekend for the young Eden Derry rider. Here he is, takes the win. Kevin Keys takes the win. Brian McCormick wheelies his way across the finish line to take that second place. And waiting for Andrew Worthy, who has a big celebration. And in fact, that was not Andrew there. Andrew Worthy was across the finish line there in third position.
So the last of the bikes coming back in the back gate now as we prepare for our final podium of the afternoon. Superb weekend for the Darracor mounted Eden Derry rider, Kevin Keys. Brian McCormick was quite happy with his P2 as well. So we're just finishing up here in Mondello Park here. Super 2 days racing. Thanks all involved. It's great to be back. And we'll see you all in June for the next round 4, 5 and 6 of the Principal Insurance Masters Superbike Championship. Over to you, Fergus, for the final podiums of the afternoon.
Well, that's our last Principal Insurance Masters Superbike race, just to round out the weekend there. We've got 4 presentations to do. We didn't have a presentation earlier for race 2 of the weekend, which is today's first race, so we'll be doing that in a couple of minutes. But first of all, we're going to get the race 3 presentation out of the way, and we're going to start as usual with the Cup class. And in third place in the Cup class is Kevin Madigan. Kevin Madigan. Kevin's shaking hands with the Darracor team boss over there. Kevin, we need you up on the podium. Kevin Madigan. Thanks, Andrew. You woke Andrew Wert, he just went and woke him up. Second place in the Cup is Declan Madden. Just up on the this one. Yeah. And our winner of the Cup's Ronan Waters. Well, Kevin, well done. There you go. Shaking the hand there. And you look like that was hard work.
It was. I won't lie to you. Suffered my arm pump there this weekend, so it was just kind of it was survival. So just try and make no stupid decisions and just see the checker flag, and it worked out in my favour. So happy days, yeah.
A good first weekend, plenty of points on the board.
Plenty of points on the board, and we're packing up going home one piece, so it's all good, yeah.
Okay, well done, Kevin. Thanks very much. Declan, podium, second place, you happy with that?
Yeah, delighted, yeah. All's good. Good to be back after 2 years. So. Wanted to be forced, but sure. It's always the next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have one of them because we have another presentation to do, remember.
Oh yeah, I bet Andrew Werty's the third in the pros. So got there before him.
It's good to have bragging rights down in that garage, isn't it? Ronan, I don't think I've spoken to you up here, not for a while. A man who only started racing a couple of years ago on an old Kawasaki, and now here you are up on top step of the podium. Well done.
Yeah. Oh, I'm delighted, absolutely delighted. You know, cancer nearly bet me 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm after beating that, so that's
well done. Congratulations to you on that.
That's all I have to say, and again, thanks to all my sponsors, everything, all the boys, mechanics, everyone at home, and training every day of the week, you know, just getting up here, you know, so I couldn't be any happier. I really am.
Well, hopefully it's the first of many appearances up here.
Good man, Fergus, thanks. Cheers.
Okay, well done to our top 3. We don't want them to go too far away because I think some of them might be back up for the presentations for some of the other races. We're going to move on to the overall race result for round 3, and then we'll come back to round 4 in a minute. And in third place, our reigning Superbike Cup champion is Andrew Werty. Great to see the Cup champion from 2022 stepping up onto the podium and doing so well in the overall Superbike results. In second place, Brian McCormick. Welcome back to the podium in Mondello, Brian. And then our winner once again, Kevin Keys. Andrew, that's a very good performance. First weekend at the Masters as a pro. Well done.
Yeah, I'm delighted with it, to be honest. I said I'd be happy if I just got a podium this weekend. So to get here from no racing last year, I'm very happy with a new bike as well. It's a pity in the first race I just had an issue with a few clutches, so I couldn't really get going with them, but we managed to get it sorted. Just want to say thanks to all the lads for helping me out, get it going, and delighted, yeah.
And what about Declan beating you in the second race? Have we mentioned that at all?
No, we didn't mention that. No, he was lagging me, but I did tell him I'd get on the podium in the last one. So,
well done, well done. Brian, welcome back to the Masters podium.
About time now?
Yeah, you pushed that one hard.
Yeah, we struggled all weekend, and we just kind of did a Hail Mary thing there before the race because we had nothing to lose. We were at nothing all weekend, so we tried something very different. And in fairness to the boys, they come up with a good plan, and it worked. I could reel him in and kind of stay with him. I knew I wasn't going to beat. He was on fire all day long, to be fair. So it was good to be up here, though. I've had a struggle the last couple of months, mentally, physically, every way. So it's good to have it up here on the podium.
And do you think with a better start, where he didn't get that jump on you, you could have done something?
Yeah, the one bloody start I didn't get the whole shot. I ended up getting a good run. So if I got the whole shot that time, it would have been different. But to be honest, Kev's on a great pace as well. So look, I'd like to thank everybody who came out today. It was a great crowd here today as well, and thank all my lads that helped me. It was great weekend.
Okay, well done, Brian. Kevin, not our first time talking this weekend, and I'm sure it won't be the last time this season. Another great result for the Daracore team. We have the other Kevin on the podium, and now you on the top step.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant weekend. You know, coming in here this weekend, Daracore had no Superbike wins, and we're leaving with a triple, which is absolutely amazing. You know, and it's a huge credit to Keith and Brian. You know, as I said in the grid, they're two brothers that work hard and putting out fantastic bikes. You know, and it shows how much of a good knit team it is. The atmosphere is brilliant inside the garage. Like young Fionn there, who's the Daracore Academy rider, taking 2 seconds in a win. Kev Madigan taking the podium. We took a win in Supersport and in 3 in the Superbike and 2 more. So couldn't ask for a better weekend. And just like to say, a huge thanks to Keith and Brian, and it's been amazing.
Okay, well done to the top 3. We're going to send them down off the podium now, and we're going to get on with our next podium, which is for the race 2 from earlier today. We probably won't spend as much time on the interviews. It's getting late in the evening here. We'll just get through as quick as we can. And because it's a while ago, I need to get my notes out on this one. So in the Cup, in third place was Davin Casey. First time on a Superbike and on the podium. What a performance from Davin. Second place, one better than in this round, it's Kevin Madigan. And the winner of the Cup, on the race where he beat Andrew Werty, it's Declan Madden. Well, we've spoken to 2 of these lads already, so we're just going to have a quick word with Davin. I'll just present all the trophies first. Well done, Davin. Congratulations. Well done, Kevin. Again, congratulations. And Declan, you won't have to speak again. You're all right. Davin, I don't think you expected that when you got a Superbike.
No, definitely not. Turns out it's a big adjustment, doubling your horsepower, so I'm just trying to hang on to the thing. Yeah. But yeah, it's good, enjoying it.
Yeah. So it was a good weekend overall?
Yeah, cracking. great to see the place packed as well.
Okay, well, thanks very much, and well done to our top 3 in round 2 Superbike Cup, Principal Insurance Superbike Cup. Have to go back to the paperwork once again here to get the top 3. And once again, it's Declan Madden in 3rd place. Sorry, I didn't let Gemma get the trophies up on you can put them up while they're doing that there. So in 3rd place is Declan Madden, 2nd place Alan Kenny, and our winner Kevin Keys again. So we're just looking for Alan. We're just looking for Alan Kenny if he's around. Doesn't appear to be. We'll get the trophy to him. I'm not going to talk to anybody else anymore. We've said enough from these guys. They put on a great performance this weekend. Thanks to everybody who came along to witness the return of the Principal Insurance Masters Superbike Championship. Thanks to all the marshals, all the officials, all of our sponsors. As you can see on the backdrop, we've got a load of new sponsors, with Principal being the main one. Megabikes, Darracor, DM Groundworks, Motorland, Sorcon Plant, OHA Motorsport, Elco Fire, and of course the support of Motorcycling Ireland in putting this event together. And really, a big thanks has to go to Motorcycling Ireland for actually getting racing back up again and getting us back here for the 2024 Principal Insurance Masters. We'll be back with you again in May, but for now, thanks from me and from our other 2 commentators, James and Andy, and we'll see you next time. The Masters Superbike Championship is brought to you by Principal Insurance, part of Howden. For motorbike, car, van and home insurance, Principal Insurance have you covered. Get a quote today.